And we are live. How's everybody doing tonight? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and you're watching and/or listening to ABL Live. Thank y'all for joining me tonight. You could be almost anywhere in the world, but you're right here with me live on the show, and I appreciate y'all for that. We get a whole lot going on all over the internet, all over mainstream media, social media, everywhere, and I don't know where to start. First of all, this whole drama, this whole nonsense, this whole big kerfuffle over the use of the term bloodbath from Donald Trump. We'll get into that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Tyson Foods firing 1,200 workers in Iowa to hire 52,000 of them from New York City migrants. We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, New York City squatters. How many rights do they have? Do they have rights? Do they have more rights than a homeowner? We'll talk about that a little bit more a little bit later. Also, Chicago migrants is just as big of a story as New York migrants. And if you voted for a particular person, you're to blame. We're going to talk about a confrontation, speaking about that very same issue a little bit more a little bit later. Also, the Irish Taoiseach. I know I'm butchering that name. I don't speak no Gaelic. I think your man Joe Biden might speak some Gaelic. We'll get to that in a minute. But the Irish Prime Minister, Leo, to pronounce his last name, I'm not going to be able to do it. Put a gun to my head. I'm going to glory. But he has resigned as Prime Minister effective very soon, immediately. We'll talk about all those things and more on tonight's episode of ABL Live. And thank y'all again for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. If you like what you're hearing so far, if you enjoy the content in general, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. We got a whole lot going on tonight. There's quite a few videos, quite a few things I've not shared with you guys yet, but there's a lot that I want to share. So again, please give the video thumbs up, like it, do all that good stuff for me. I would most certainly appreciate you for your time, your kind words, all that good stuff. Now, y'all know how I do first things first. Shout out to the sponsor. Shout out to you guys, of course, always. You guys are my chief sponsor. Without you, there is no me. So get a video a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. I appreciate y'all. But also, shout out to patriotpost.us, your best source of news and information. Their link will always be in the description, or just go to the website directly. Tell them ABL sent you. Also, go to my merch website, ablmerch.com. We got the hats, t-shirts, stickers, hoodies, mugs, and more right there on the website, ablmerch.com. Also, we have AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Go to the front page of the website. We have articles for each video that I produce, and you're able to see news sources from the left, from the right, from the international, national, local, whatever you want. I got it. Full videos, I got it. Anything that's legal, I will post on the website. Things that I probably can't post on YouTube, I can't post on my website because they can't block that. They can't gatekeep that. They can't do anything to my website. Again, AnthonyBLogan.com. That is ANTHONY, the letter B, LOGAN.com. Also, go to the contact page of the website, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. There you can find my email address, my snail mail address, my social media accounts, my Facebook, Twitter, never going to call it X, Instagram. All those good things are on the contact page, AnthonyBLogan.com/contact. And if you're ever wondering if it's me you're talking to, just use a little bit of common sense, number one, but number two, just cross-reference it. Is the email you're conversing with the same as the email that's on my website? My email is very easy, contact@AnthonyBLogan.com. If the email says I live in Nigeria, Latvia, Lithuania, some random place, and I scam for a living at Hotmail, Outlook, or some random generic website.com, that's not me. If it's not my contact email, it's not me. Contact@AnthonyBLogan.com. That's my domain. I bought it. I maintain it. That's me. Anything else, that's no me. So shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. And the reason why I say that about the scammer, I still get emails. I got an email yesterday saying that somebody hit somebody up and gave him a phone number. See, I'm not going to be in the DMs. I'm not going to be in the comments talking about, hey, call me. We could discuss Forex or we could discuss Bitcoin. And no get rich quick team over here. I don't got nothing for you. All I'm going to do is say subscribe to the channel. Please, if you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, subscribe. That's all I'm going to say. I'm never going to say anything else beyond that. I'm never going to say contact me on some weird stuff talking about some get rich quick scheme. So please don't get scammed. It's 2024. Don't nobody got no time for that. In Biden's economy, although Biden will say that the economy is strong and jobs are booming. If that's the case, I can't tell. I'm trying to hold on to every red cent that I've ever made in my entire life. I'm talking about piggy bank status. I want to go back to when I was 5 years old with my school bus piggy bank my granddad gave me, empty that out, and count everything in there. I'm not leaving one red cent in the Biden administration. I want to take all my coins with me, and I don't got no time for these neckbeard scammers on the internet to take any of my coins. So we got a lot going on. Shout out to you guys again. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. Hey, ABL and AOL. I was on AOL. I was on everything. I was around when the internet was born. When the internet was born, as far as how we know it, the consumer internet, the dial up with that crazy noise, you couldn't be on the phone. See, here's old man stories. That might be a segment on my show, old man stories. It's crazy how old you get very quick. Just yesterday, I was a young whippersnapper, and now I might as well just walk with a whole cane and this big Gandalf-looking beard telling stories to your, grandkids and everything else. But anyway, so yeah, shout out to you guys. You still on AOL, Dejanay? Well, shout out to you. Hey, you a trooper hanging in there. You know what that shows? That shows consistency. That shows stick-to-itiveness right there. So congrats to you, 100%. All right. So yeah, shout out to y'all. I remember when Gmail first came out. I remember when all that first came out. We had AOL, the AOL trial discs. We had Netscape, all that good stuff back in the day. I remember all of that, everything. And my mom was good with the computers. Like, that's what she did. Like, she worked with computers for a living. So she taught me how to use the computer. And at this time, we were running DOS commands. I remember playing Doom and stuff in the early 90s and having to, it might have been on a floppy disk. You had Doom on the big, I think it might have been the 5-inch floppy. Throw that into your compact Presario, whatever you had. And you got to run a DOS command to actually launch the game and play it. Nowadays, these kids and their touch phones and the Insta Snaps and the face jams, they could just push a button and then that's it. They got the big iPad in front of them. They don't remember my pain of remembering a specific string of DOS commands to get my game to run and to get my game to run smoothly. Y'all know nothing about that. Young kids, what's DOS? Let me tell you something. It'd be an old man campfire. But anyway, I digress. I don't want to get too far down the nostalgia memory lane. I got a lot of videos for you guys. And speaking about the young whippersnappers, never do I ever, if I had any kids, I would not want them to be like this fine gentleman right here. Okay. And before I continue, somebody said something about MySpace. Listen, MySpace was peak social media. There will never be another. MySpace, look, Facebook was like a MySpace substitute. And then Twitter came around. Twitter was just AIM, but a little bit more. It was the next iteration of AIM. They even said it. They was like, we took our cues from AIM. That's all it was. It took AIM and took it away from the app and put it on the website. And boom, now we have Twitter. That's all that it was. They just made it more, it made it into a website. It made it more robust. That's all. But there will never be another MySpace. Listen, back in the day, back in like 07, 08, I was getting paid to design MySpace pages because I knew how to code a little bit and I could graphic design. I'm getting $200, $300, $400 to do a page. Man, listen, those days, what we got now, I don't know, man. It's something different. But again, I'm just old man ranting that cloud, basically. Now, let's keep on rocking. I don't want any of you guys to be like this individual right here.
You're over here appropriating a space for your own personality.
I'm a journalist.
You're not a journalist.
How do you decide who's a journalist?
I mean, considering I was fired as a journalist.
Oh boy. So what we have right here, we have a guy that was promised a certain thing. He was promised, hey, you go to school, get your education, spend a bunch of money. You can major in journalism. You can major in underwater basketball, even though whatever you want. Nothing against actual journalists. They really do their job. Investigative journalists, reporters, people that really go out there, do their job. People that work in the news, television. Nothing against you guys. But some of these people, they harbor some resentment to guys like me because I did not need to go to school to become a journalist. I did not need to go to school to do what I'm doing right now. I did not need a formal education to be basically a news reporter, but he did have that, and he got fired, and he has the world's biggest mask on, and all he can do is go out there and protest. You know, when you feel like you have nothing left, you feel like something, you were robbed in some kind of way, a thing was taken from you, you want to go out there and try to get it back. Let's start from the top, shall we?
You're over here appropriating a space for your own personality.
I'm a journalist.
You're not a journalist.
How do you decide who's a journalist?
I mean, considering I was fired as a journalist, you're no journalist.
Literally, would you rather be itchy or sick of your whole life?
You're not doing this for like what the actual conversation is, which is getting rid of this country.
Getting rid of this country?
Getting rid of America, getting rid of the West. This is what this is for.
So his sign says, end the war on Gaza. And there's some little boy sitting in rubble. And there's a website I'm not going to promote.
You want to get rid of America?
Yes. Everyone here understands that at some level we need to get rid of America completely.
What should we do?
Decolonization.
His voice is like androgynous. It could go either way. If you heard this guy on the phone, you wouldn't know what to say. Imagine this individual calls you. You work in customer service. If you're an American, okay? If you're actually an American answering the phone, okay, you're an American. He's calling Verizon, AT&T, whatever. Hey, my cell phone's not working, blah, 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 blah. And you might want to say, okay, ma'am, sir, ma'am, Sam. You don't know what to say at this point.
Land back?
Where should we go, though?
In our communities. We need to go leave the capitals, leave the central capitals of commerce, of capital itself.
Leave the capitals of commerce because we got to get away from this country. We have to abolish America. And he's like, hey, well, so what are we going to do instead? Well, we gotta go to our communities and leave the capitals of commerce. What? You know what he's saying? Talking about we got to end America. We got to get rid of America. That's the same kind of thing that the celebrity said when Trump won. They said, oh, we're going to leave America. And they didn't go anywhere. They stayed right up in the Hollywood Hills, and they don't really come outside. And when they do come outside, if they see so much as a leaf in the wrong place, they're going to call the police and have the entire town descend upon their home for the misplaced leaf. But then they'll tell you, defund the police, ACAB, all cops are bad, all this, that, and the third. That's how they do. But let's keep on rocking and rolling. So yeah, if I had any kids, I would not want my son to behave like that. All right. Now, this is funny. I don't know if we gotta. This could be a skit, but it might not be because there's a lot going on here. There's a whole lot happening, and I think for it to be a skit, it's a very elaborately staged skit. So, just some observations. This hairstyle, I mean, it's Harry Potter-esque with the glasses. We got a mullet on a mullet style, but not really a mullet. I'm not really sure. And we have a ton of filth in the room, and I'm not really sure what this person identifies as. I'm not going to assume anything, but there's a pile of filth. You're on the ground. You're playing the video game. Now, this video game is triggering the person, and wait till you see why the video game is triggering this person. You ready? Check it out. So what we have is the Nintendo Wii. And when you start up, I guess maybe even the console or certain games, it's going to ask you, hey, select a gender, male or female. Now, there's no option for gender non-conforming, non-binary, a fairy, or whatever kind of pronoun you want to make up. There's no create a gender here. You're male or female, and that's very triggering. My man or ma'am, I don't know what's going on. I can't even really tell. With the way they got it nowadays, they got it so androgynous, like I can't even really tell. You got the guys so soft, I can't tell if they're women. And then the women are so masculine, I can't tell if they're actually men sometimes, depending on the situation. If I see you in person, like I said before, look, when I was in LA some years ago for Jubilee, they had this transformer, right? And the transformer, it was a biological woman who identified as a man. Now, the person had a beard and dude clothes on and this voice that was a little bit deep, I suppose. But this person was all of about 5'1", 5'2", and petite. It's like, okay, ma'am, I see the beard. I respect it. I respect the wardrobe and the beard and all that good stuff. Your beard game is destroying my beard game. You're on point. However, you're still fun size. All right. You are still fun size. I will pick you up like a little kid. Toss you straight in the air. I'm not really buying the whole you're a man thing when I see you in person. But if I was to see a picture of you on the internet, I might be a little bit Chaz. Yes. Chaz. Yep. Jemima. That was a person's name. Chaz. Chaz, about 5'2". Okay. Fun size. I'm not making it up. So yeah, I'm not really convinced when I see stuff like that. Okay. Now, hold on. Matter of fact, I got a picture because we took a picture that day. That was a crazy day because you had the person who identified as a transformer, but then you also had a regular biological woman who was like over 6 foot tall. It's like, what is going on here? Like, what is happening? Like the woman was bigger than the actual woman was bigger than I am. And the person who was a woman who identified as a man was about all of 5'1", and petite. It's one thing to be a short man. It's different to be actually petite and short. That's not really a masculine quality. You see what I'm saying? It's just kind of weird. But anyway, yeah, people are kind of confused. If I can find that picture, I'll show it to you in a minute. And here's one. And speaking about Jubilee, this is a great segue. So during my Jubilee segment, they were talking about trans rights. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and just pull it up because this is actually something I said. This my man Malik Snaps did an interview on the street, and he was asking a question that I raised back during that time. All right. So, and if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. All right. And then hold on. This is the individual right here known as Chaz. All right. You see the person right there? That is a woman, a biological woman who now identifies as a man. Okay. And when you see him in person, 5'2", petite. Now, I want to show my part right here talking about Dwayne Wade's boy.
This particular thing, because when I hear that, I'm thinking about Dwayne Wade's son.
So the question was, do I support LGBT rights?
He's 12 years old. Do you think a 12-year-old boy should be able to call himself transgender? Is that what we're going to do? Do we think that we should have 4- and 5-year-old children on puberty blockers, hormone blockers, because they think at that age they're transgender? You can't even get a tattoo under the age of 18. You can't smoke cigarettes. You can't drink beer.
So yes, that's me in 2020. So about 4 years ago in LA. All right. No beard. The babyface ABL, right? But the point I made about no tattoo, no cigarettes, no beer under 18, but you could change your gender. That's the point I made back then in 2020. Now let's fast forward to today. My man Malik Snap, shout out to you. Here's a question that he said, or that he asked somebody on the street. Check it out.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to get a tattoo?
No.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes.
And why no to the tattoos and yes to the puberty blockers?
I've seen more research about trans people starting younger than people getting tattoos younger.
Okay, what does the research show? I'm actually interested.
I just mean I feel like I've been more exposed to that sort of stuff.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to get a tattoo?
No.
Do you think a 12-year-old should be able to consent to puberty blockers?
Yes.
And why no to the tattoos and yes to the puberty blockers?
I've seen more research about.
Does this make any sense? So you can't get a tattoo under 18, but you can get puberty blockers under 18, but not just under 18, but 12 years old. It's I think that maybe we should not allow children to get tattoos or puberty blockers. I kind of put those. I kind of put one above the other. And I think that puberty blockers might be a little bit more damaging than a tattoo. Okay. You get a heart tattoo on your shoulder or something like that. That's not really that big of a deal. Although I wouldn't recommend it for a child to get. Okay. That shouldn't be a thing you should be able to get as a minor, but it's not a big deal. It's not really life altering, but puberty blockers, yeah, that's kind of life altering. It's kind of a big deal and you shouldn't be able to do it. One goes above the other. So yeah, that's what we'll be dealing with right now. So shout out to Malik Snaps. Hopefully you saw my interview and that was inspiration for your question. But shout out to you, man. I appreciate you. Now let's just take a look at downtown Los Angeles. Speaking about Jubilee in LA, when I was in LA years ago, it was really, really ghetto. I didn't like it. And this is the kind of vibe I got when I was there. Now, I was not in downtown, but I was close enough. I was by the airport, and this is it's ghetto. LA, I don't understand. I don't understand the attraction to Los Angeles, unless you go up in the hills. If you go up in the hills where all the trillionaires live, okay, you go to Elon Musk's house, or you go to Kanye West's house, or where Drake lives, okay, that's different. But on the floor with the people, and we got fires burning of trash. Who knows what's in that fire? What's the accelerant in that fire? Okay, there's quite a few things that burn. What do you think is burning in that fire right there on the ground in the middle of the daytime in downtown Los Angeles? Could you really walk around there? Is that a walkable area? There's sidewalks. There's crosswalks. Is it walkable? No. Yeah, LA is like that. On the ground floor, it don't really matter. If you're not up in the Hollywood Hills, if you're not in the super rich area, it's ghetto all the way around. It's ghetto. It's crowded. I don't like it. I was not impressed. I'm good. Big dirty cities, New York. No offense to the New Yorkers, but I can't do it, man. I can't do it. The subway. If I smell urine, I'm out. I'm good. I'm not trying to smell that smell emanating from underground. The subway system. Next. The trash, the garbage on the streets. Next, one thing about New York City, you got these big trash bags just on the ground, on the sidewalk on the ground. And then at night, we got the rats that get into it, and the bags is shaking the bacon. I'm good on that. I don't like that. I am so good. But if you like New York, hey, it's fine. If you like it, I love it. Now, speaking about appetizing things. What if you got cooked this by your mom, your dad, or whoever? Nothing gross, but what kind of food do you like? I'm not quite sure that I want garden debris for my dinner.
All right, audience, moment of truth. Look at this. No, it doesn't. Stop it saying that.
I know he's going to cuss. I'm sorry. Sorry for the RP to the sensitive ears.
It smells delicious and it looks delicious, and I'm just waiting for the biscuits to go in, and then we're set.
Yeah. So the kids do not like the dinner, as you heard. It said it smells like something that it shouldn't smell like. So yeah, if I'm a little kid and I see that on the pot, I'm like, Mom, what are we doing? What is going on here? I think I'm good. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that too tough. Not a whole pot of that. Maybe a little side or some green beans or something. But anything beyond that, man, I'm straight. I'm cool. Speaking about food, let's go to the grocery store, shall we? Now, this is the food stamp scam being recorded live on the TikToks or somewhere else. And it's crazy because I see this kind of thing happen every day. Listen, go to Wally World, go to Target between the 1st and the 5th of the month. Go maybe even on the 31st. Maybe they might refresh the EBT cards a little bit early. Okay, let's say the 1st falls on the Sunday. They might refresh them on the Friday or something. I'm not sure how the whole thing goes. Okay, I'm no EBT connoisseur. But look, when they refresh them cards, go to the grocery store, anywhere they sell food, Aldi, Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, but really Walmart will be the main spot. You're going to see carts full of stuff like this. Now, observe the cart. Tell me how much food you actually see. The cart is packed. The cart is packed, but how much food do you see? Not a whole lot. Sunny Delight, Gushers, on honey buns, just BS. Now, aside from what's in the cart, let's take a look at the scam, shall we?
I'm about to buy all these groceries, and these niggas got the EBT, so they about to give it, and I'm gonna give them some cash for it. We about to flip it. How much is on there? $483. $480.
Okay, now first, this is crazy. Look at my man. Look at my man right here. I mean, good grief. I thought Bobby Brown was high as gas in the Thug Loving video, but this guy right here, I don't know what kind of drugs do that to you, but obviously these are drug addicts, and they're using the EBT card and they're selling them. So here's the game. Back in the day, you would get the paper food stamps. You could sell a book of stamps for a certain price. So let's say the book of stamps would be, I don't know, $100 worth. You could sell it for 50 and to get the cash rather than the food stamps, because the food stamps are only good for food. You take the cash and do what these guys are doing. They about to take that money and get high. I 100% guarantee you. That's what's going to happen. This is a drug transaction, basically. So here's a game now. You go to the store with the guys who have the card. You get whatever you want. They buy it with their food stamp card, and you give them half of what they spent on their food stamp card in cash, or whatever you agree on. 75% is usually half. That's usually how it is in the hood. So that's a scam that's happening right now. And a lot of times what you'll see is drug addicts, they'll do this a lot. So when you see people that are walking together that don't really fit, odd couples in the store with a cart full of stuff, you already know what's going on.
183? Hell yeah. 200? You damn right. Fuck yeah. We got ourselves.
I could do 400 though. Cool.
Yep, we got ourselves a deal. Hell. I'm about to buy all these groceries.
So yeah, that's what's happening out here in these streets. Food stamp scamming. That's the oldest trick in the book. It's been going on for a long time. And really, in some parts of the country, there's no need to do it. You go to California. Listen, I heard in California, you could buy hair weave with EBT card benefits. And in some states, they put all your benefits on the card. Social Security, welfare, WIC, TANF, child support might go on the EBT card, allegedly. I'm not quite sure about that one. Y'all let me know if that's true or false. So all your government benefits go on one card. You can spend it wherever you want. And that's what's happening right now in New York. I would not be surprised if you saw migrants doing this same thing, this whole scam, because they're getting them prepaid debit cards and they say, oh, it's for food, but really it's for whatever they want. It's a debit card. It's not even an EBT card. It's not even the food stamp card. It's just a debit, like a rush card back in the day. It's like having the Visa. You can spend on whatever you want. So there's going to be a lot of that kind of thing going on, for sure. A whole lot going on. Yeah, it's not groceries. Definitely sugar water, for sure. All right. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Yeah. Guys bragging about breaking the law on camera. People don't care no more. They don't care. There's no consequences. And speaking about food, would you buy this? Now, New York City, this is what I'm talking about. See, stuff like this, listen, if I'm seeing some lady, I don't know if she's Hispanic, Asian, don't really matter. Race is not even important here. If I see some lady with a TV dinner tray and a bag full of ice cream and random cones, trying to sell me some ice cream. She don't got no glove. It ain't no refrigeration. It's just a scoop. It's just a thing of ice cream on a TV dinner tray, like a baking sheet. You have a baking sheet on top of a TV dinner tray and a bag of, I guess that's ice cream. How is that remaining cold? How is it not melting? I have no idea. Would you buy this? There's no way in the world I'm buying that. I mean, look, listen, I don't know. Look, first of all, how about this? I don't even eat ice cream. That's number one. I'm not even an ice cream guy. But if I did eat ice cream, the absolute last place I'd purchase ice cream is on a New York City subway train with it's no refrigeration, just a random bag of ice cream and some ice cream cones with this lady. You don't know where she's been, what she's been doing, where them hands been. This is not very safe. I need the health inspector. Matter of fact, National Guard. How did this lady bring on a whole bag of ice cream or ice cream cones on the subway? How did that happen? Like, what is going on? So yeah, no, I'm good. I am good. How about you guys? Are you going to, if you on what they call them trains, the E train, the F train, whatever. So you kind of hot, it's a little warm. All of a sudden you see this big slab of ice cream that's somehow not melting and it's smelling kind of good, a little bit of sugar, setting off little, brain receptors. Would you eat that? Me, no, but some of y'all might. Not you guys watching, but somebody might. All right. Now, I'm not quite sure if there were migrants or not on that train selling ice cream that somehow didn't melt and just collapse on the floor. But here we are in Denver, Colorado with the migrants, and they're running up to your windshield. This is like super old school. Hold on. Is there music here? All right, we ain't gonna play the music. This is like really old school, throwback to the 90s where guys would be on the street running up to your car trying to wash your windshield for money. I've not seen the squeegee man in forever. Okay. And we got migrants on the side of the road as well. It's Denver, Colorado. Now look, don't run up on my car. I don't know you. I don't know what's going on. I'm good. Okay. I am good. Don't run up on my car. All right. Matter of fact, hold on. I have something that is the perfect remedy for people that run up on your car and just do whatever they want to do. Hold on. I'll show that in a minute. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And yo, check it out. Check it out. The thing about the squeegee people, the squeegee kids, I guess you would say, now these are the water boys. Like you go to Atlanta, yeah, I definitely would not give them any kind of time, any amount of attention, nothing. Because the water boys will hurt you. It's not good. They'll rob you. People, they don't know any better. They want to, help the youth. And these water boys run up on them. Hold on. Matter of fact, I got to show you guys the water boys if you're not really familiar. Yeah, if you ever drive through Atlanta for some reason and the water boys run up on you, please keep driving. Please keep driving. Do not open your car window. Do not stop. Just go ahead and keep moving. Don't acknowledge them. It's no good. Now, here's an example of the water boys. Hold on. You put it on the screen.
What the fuck? You can talk to them. That's what son. Fall with me one time. I know you got that shit on you. I don't got no cash on me. She's telling me I got no cash on me. God bless you. God bless you, though. God bless you, too.
Well, he's selling water.
Okay. But he's selling one of them water for like $5. No, you heard me.
They do anything out this bitch.
You'll be in traffic just randomly on some street in Atlanta, it'd be about 4 or 5 youth run up on your car. Hey, big bro, mess with me, man. Mess with me. Hey, I got the water right here. I got the water. I don't got no cash. You got Cash App. And then what a lot of people will do, normies that don't know any better, what they'll do when the boys will say, hey, you got Cash App, they will give them their phone. They will give them their phone. And when you give them their phone, that's when it all goes bad. You might not get your phone back. You probably won't get your phone back. And if you do get it back, what they're going to do is send themselves some money, whatever they want to send themselves, through your Cash App. $200. Man, look, I done heard so many horror stories. More of the story is, do not stop your car. Do not talk to these boys because they will do something to you. Now, here's the remedy. Here's the remedy. They look, back up. They got Apple Pay. They got Venmo. They got Cash App. Oh, yeah, they got all of that. But here's my remedy. All right. So you heard my man. I don't have any money. Get away from my car. He will bite you, sir. So Peaches right here will be there to greet you. When the water boy's running up on you, if my window is for some reason open, it's a hot summer day, I'm trying to get a little breeze, and you run up on my car, Peaches will be right there and she'll greet you. So the best bet would be to back away from my vehicle, unless you want Peaches to give you a nice little present, a little going away present. All right. So yeah, shout out to Peaches and shout out to the water boys. Yeah, the best bet, stay away from my vehicle. All right. Now check it out. Now somebody say don't go to Atlanta, but you might have to, because if you go down 75, like let's say you want to just drive down to Florida or something like that, or somewhere else, 75s go right through Atlanta, right down, smack down the middle, right in the middle of it. So you're going to be there regardless if you go that way. Now, check this out. We're going to Toronto, Canada, and the officers are trying to find ways to prevent vehicle thefts. I guess it's a problem out there. You guys who live in Toronto, let me know. Is vehicle theft a problem? Atlanta, Georgia, car theft, that's a really big problem. Really all over the United States. And what they do here in the USA, when they steal your car, a lot of times it's going to go on the flatbed and go straight to Africa. It's going to go on the flatbed and then it'll go on the ship straight to Africa. That's what's going to happen to your car. So by the time you try to call the police and report it, they might recover it, maybe. But a lot of times they're going to chop it and or put it on the boat. It'll be straight to Nigeria. Oh, we got some new cars today, huh? Idiot. Stolen car. That's going to be the fate of your vehicle. But anyway, in Toronto, it's a problem. And here is advice from the police.
Message for vehicle.
All right, let me put it on the screen for you guys.
Message for vehicle owners who keep their fobs in Faraday pouches.
To prevent the possibility of being attacked in your home, leave your fobs at your front door, because they're breaking into your home to steal your car. They don't want anything else. A lot of them that they're arresting have guns on them, and they're not toy guns, they're real guns. They're loaded.
Message for.
So basically, the moral of the story from the officer here, this is, again, Toronto, Canada, and the Faraday pouch, if I'm not mistaken, this is a bag that would prevent them from doing the signal. It's kind of hard to explain, but they can relay. Sometimes they have devices that will relay a signal from your key fob back to the device and unlock your car. And they might even be able to remote start your car using a device by relaying the signal from your fob. And the Faraday pouch, the whole effort is to be like a RF shield to prevent that signal from reaching. Now, what they might do is break in your house and just take the fob rather than doing the whole thing right here with the device. So he's saying, hey, check it out. All they want is a fob. Give it up. Listen, do you guys in Canada, do you guys have the right to bear arms? Do you guys have the right to bear arms? Because check it out. The criminals have guns in the great white north. They got guns down here too. But one thing that's different, maybe it's different in Canada, but we have guns. So you break into my house trying to get my car. Hey, man, listen. I'm all about peace and love. I'm the warmest, nicest guy. you would ever meet in your life. However, if you cross that threshold, you cross that barrier into my domain, you're going to get all of this right here in the front part of your brain, your teeth, your nose. It's going to be sent back in time. It's going to be sent back in time. So I suggest you just leave me alone. Just don't engage in violence. Don't breach my perimeter, and I'll be your best friend. I'll be your best friend in the world. I will give you the shirt off my back. Not quite literally, but I'll be very nice to you as long as you don't kick my door down. Don't take stuff from me, and you'll be good. Now, speaking about home invasions, things of this nature, we're going to the migrants, and this guy right here has a plan. And you're right, Summer Sky, it's an RFID blocker. Yes, that's a Faraday pouch. So basically what the officer was saying is if they can't steal your car by bouncing the sitting off of your key fob because you got a RFID blocker on your fob, they may break into your home to take the fob. So they're saying leave the fob at the front so they don't have to come in any further and do something to you. I say, hey, if they come in and they want to do something to you, be ready, because there's no guarantee. Listen, if they break in your home, there's no guarantee they will just hit the fob, because now they're in. If you've gone to that next step of breaking in somebody's house, if you've gone to that level of doing that, all bets are off. All bets are off. You might got a wife and kids and everything else and yourself in there. Oh, no. Nah, don't do that, because now we're in a whole different level. And speaking about whole different level, we have an illegal alien giving the message. I don't know what it is about cell phones and social media platforms, TikTok, things of this nature, but guys get really, really bold and really courageous to say whatever they want to say on these apps. So I'm going to let this play in Spanish, and if you guys can speak Spanish, you'll be able to hear it without me having to do the subtitles. You can also read along. After it's done, I'm going to give you the summary of what he was talking about. Basically, how to occupy an unoccupied home. Yeah, how to basically become a squatter. We'll get to the New York City squatters in a minute. This guy is just straight up an illegal alien. Check it out.
Mi gente, he pensado invadir una casa en United States, ya que me enteré que existe una ley que dice que si una casa no está habitada, podemos expropiarla. Capichi, muchachos, aquí en United States también se aplica la de invasión de terreno. Y creo que ese será mi próximo negocio. Invadir casas abandonadas, ya que me he buscado unos códigos con mis amigos africanos y me dijeron que ya llevan como 7 casas expropiadas. Y como dice el dicho, papi, hay que buscar la vuelta. Y la vuelta ahorita mismo es invadir casas, ya que nos encontramos en situación de calle y es la única manera que tenemos para no vivir en la calle y no ser una carga pública. Capichi, la ley dice que las casas abandonadas, deterioradas y que esté en mal estado, podemos llegar y repararlas, vivir en ellas y si podemos venderla, hasta pedir créditos con ella. ¿Qué dicen ustedes?
So basically, he's talking about, he said he discovered a law in the USA that says he can occupy decrepit homes and fix them up and maybe even sell it. And they've already done this with 7 houses. And he's doing it with his African friends. Okay. So you got a bunch of these migrants, illegal aliens, whatever you want to call them, doing it together. They got a whole ring doing this. And I'm not sure if he's right or wrong. What I do know is that it's illegal to be in the USA illegally. But what he's talking about is becoming a squatter as an illegal alien and finding a place to be and gaining the rights to it. Okay, is ICE watching it? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? He probably was given the Olay treatment. Like, you know, Olay, come on in the country. Like the guy that took Lake and Riley's life, he was given the Olay treatment. They caught him at the border in El Paso. He illegally hopped the fence. He crossed the border illegally. He was not an asylum seeker. He didn't do anything. They let him go because they did not have the capacity to get him out of the way, to send him back. The policy at that time under one Mr. President Biden, the policy was, we're overwhelmed, let them through. Illegal, whatever, doesn't matter. And of course, we know what this guy did, Laken Riley's killer. He went from El Paso to New York, allegedly abused a child, and then he went to Georgia, and then he killed Laken Riley, 22 years old, medical student. That's what's going on right now in this country. All right. So, yeah, they got to go, man. They got to go. But you got guys telling you what they're going to do. They're telling you what they are going to do. All right. Let's keep on going here. Shout out. This is a funny video from a sheriff. I think he's in Florida. I'm not quite sure. Let me just play it right quick. This is an interesting scene. Now, we have this sheriff and I guess some probably sheriff deputies, maybe, so officers behind him. And you have a gentleman right here, a white guy, I suppose, with what appears to be some kind of dreadlock action. It's probably Florida. Okay, trying to be like Kodak Black or somebody, but it might be like Kodak White. But anyway, this guy is currently being arrested, no shirt on, farmer's tan. Let's hear from the sheriff, shall we?
I'm St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson. Earlier today, Elijah thought he's going to drive through St. Lucie County in a stolen vehicle and get into a car crash, working closely with the Florida Highway Patrol, not only on the sea, but on land. Elijah's now in custody. Our message is this to criminals.
Not in St. Lucie.
All right. So, yeah, he was not too happy about that.
I'm St. Lucie County Sheriff Keith Pearson. Earlier today, Elijah thought he's going to drive through St. Lucie County in a stolen vehicle and get into a car crash, working closely with the Florida Highway Patrol, not only on the sea, but on land. Elijah's now in custody. Our message is this to criminals.
Not in St. Lucie.
All right, so there we have it. Not in St. Lucie. We're not going to do that. So shout out to the officers on TikTok. Hey, you know what? I'd rather this be on the TikToks rather than the criminals talking about we'll do whatever we're going to do. How about the officer saying, well, no, you're not in St. Lucie, Florida, in that particular area, driving a stolen vehicle. We're not going to have that happen. So, yeah, shout out to the officers down there doing their job. Yeah, Sideshow Bob, Kodak White, he did not like that too much as well. Typical Elijah, that's hilarious. All right, yeah, no shirt on, farmer's tan, fake dreads, the whole nine, you know? Yeah, that's definitely criminal behavior. Now, here's an interesting video. I'm going to do a video about this specifically. Shout out to NWokeness for posting this. This is about Nashville Police Department. The caption here says, Nashville Police Department drops ability test requirement in order to increase its female force from 13 to 30%. From 13 to 30%. Metro Nashville Police Department will also allow more flexible working schedules in addition to the pre-existing maternity leave and sick days. Director Tiffany Gibson is the first female director of training for the MNDP or PD. Let's check it out. All right, we're doing a dead man's carry right here. And I don't know, man. Listen, I'm a pretty big guy. I'm well over 200 pounds. I don't think that this particular individual right here is going to be able to drag me. All right. If I'm in Nashville somewhere, all right, I'm in bad shape. I didn't bust my hind parts on the ground or something like that. Let's say it's snowing up there. I'm on Broadway. I slip and fall, can't get up, and she's got to drag me. Man, look, we both going to be on the ground. We both going to be tumbling down the hill right into the river.
It's a male-dominated profession, so women are scared to take that step, maybe thinking that they're not able to do it, but you can do it if you have that right mindset.
It's a mindset the Metro Police Department hopes more women will have. Their goal, a 30% female police force. Last year, it was 11%. This year, it's 13%.
And is it even attainable?
I think we're definitely growing. So if we can just keep that momentum going, I believe that it is definitely attainable.
Commander Tiffany Gibson is Metro's first female director of training. She says among the biggest changes they've made to help attract recruits, especially women, no more physical ability tests. Now trainees must pass a physical agility test designed to mirror tasks in the field. They've also added lactation rooms for nursing moms.
Nah, lactation rooms is okay. All right, hold on.
Moms to all 8 precincts. More flexible schedules. That's in addition to their already paid maternity leave and sick time.
What's something the Metro Police Department does not currently offer to female recruits that you think could really be a game changer?
We were trying to get going, possibly help sponsor our own childcare facility, and I think that would be really helpful for females.
Updated travel times, possibly travel.
Hey, Boomhauer, you said it right there. They will be fornicating with everybody. Isn't that where the one woman was? Wasn't that Nashville or in the that was somewhere? It was Pulaski. It's right there. Yeah, that's where. Remember the woman that had an affair with like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys on the force? That was right there by Nashville.
New officers like Emma Long hope it all leads to more women joining her on patrols and beyond.
More qualified and strong women to be in this police department and be leaders in this police department. I mean, I think it would be a great thing to see.
All righty, so yeah, that's that. But yeah, that's gonna be interesting. That is going to be interesting. Why is it a story? Because they're trying to raise the female percentage in the police force in Nashville from 13 to 30%. And I think when you try to do stuff like that, that's kind of like a DEI initiative. That's what that is. And when you do stuff like that, you're going to have disastrous results. Okay, I saw one video of a shooting. I think it was a rookie female officer. And like her presence messed the whole thing up. The officer wound up shooting his pistol when he didn't have to. It was a mess. I'm not saying the rookie male can't do it, but the whole thing was a mess. I just, listen, if you got good female cops, then shout out to them. But I don't think it should be a quota to meet. It shouldn't be a quota to meet for any particular kind of person, race, gender, or whatever. Do we have the best? Because I done seen some female cops that'll stomp you in the wine. Don't get it confused. I've seen some female cops that will stomp you clean, smooth in the wine. I've seen some male cops that shouldn't be on the force. So I think the focus should be on getting the best of the best rather than trying to meet an artificial number as a quota. They said they're trying to go to 30% of the force female from the current 13%. That's a pretty big jump. And in order to do that, some male cops not going to be able to get on. That's just how it works, right? So yeah, I just don't really see that whole thing happening. But anyway, let's keep on rocking and rolling here. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. XC says, according to the left, males can lactate too. Exactly, yeah. That's right. You are right about that. They can lactate too, according to these weirdos out there. Let's keep on going here. Funny moment. Speaking about affairs, speaking about people doing things they shouldn't be doing, hands in the cookie jar. You got your man Eric Swalwell, aka the guy who had relations with Fang Fang, Yum Yum, or whatever. I don't know how this guy's still in office. That whole thing with the Chinese spy was completely embarrassing. I mean, what in the world? Wouldn't you be compromised? So yeah, shout out to Anna Paulina Luna, who was asking him to give his closing remarks about Biden's impeachment in Chinese. Check it out, just briefly.
516.
Say it in Chinese.
Impeachment is dead.
Say it in Chinese.
Impeachment 516.
Say it in Chinese.
Impeachment is dead.
Say it in Chinese.
I don't know how you're still there, because that's not going to go anywhere. Remember during the State of the Union address, Biden was talking about China and they panned to him. I was like, what in the... Everybody knows that this guy at a certain point is compromised. How do we know he doesn't have more Chinese spies? Like in the... They know now what his weakness is. Okay, you like the Chinese young ladies? Okay, we're going to give you as many as you want. As many as you want. We're going to just throw them at you like darts, ping pong balls, like tennis rackets. You're going to get pelted with Chinese women until you crack and break. It'll be that one where he says the wrong thing. Now they got you. Now they got you. Everybody knows it because during the State of the Union address, they panned to him when they were talking about China. Let me see if I can find that right quick because that was a crazy moment. Hold on. Eric Swalwell, State of the Union, China. All right. If I can find it. Maybe not. If not, I'm going to keep on rocking and rolling here. Yeah, I probably ain't going to be able to find it. That's kind of an obscure clip. But anyway, now I might do a segment at this point. I'm not sure who the young man is doing these videos. I'm not sure who he is. I'm gonna find him and I may wind up doing a segment. This segment, I could call it guess that house price according to the year. Maybe I might refine that name if I do a segment, but basically, this young man goes around asking people who are up there in age, how much was your first house? Now, you see my man right here, and I'm going to give you a clue. I want you guys to guess how much this man's house, his first house was, and I'm going to give you a clue. The house was purchased 30 years ago, and let's be clear, we're now in 2024. So we're talking about, what, mid-90s? So mid-90s, this man bought a home. How much do you think his home cost in 1994? You let me know. Yes, he's up there in age, but this house was not purchased in the 50s, 60s, 70s. It was purchased in 1994. When I was about 10 years old. All right, 94. You guys let me know how much it cost back then. And when he tells you, it'll kind of be an eye opener, but I don't want to give you too many hints. All right. So I'm seeing some interesting numbers. You guys are pretty much on it, kind of, sort of. Where? That's a good question, but I don't know where. That's a really good question, Michael, because, like if you ask that question today, if somebody bought a brand new house today in California, it'd be a little bit different than Texas or somewhere like that. So, yeah. Medi says, my parents' house in 1996 was $114,000. That sounds about right for 1996. GD Vibe said 98 paid $68,000. 98 Les says $80,000. NKM says $350. Boomhauer said $90,000. Lisa UK girl, $30,000. Okay, you guys are kind of on point. Hold on, let me see. Backup says built in 94 or purchase a house from. Yeah, that's a good question. Was it like an old house bought in 94 or was it a brand new build? That's a good question. I don't know. So I'm gonna go ahead and just let him tell you. All right, you ready? Let's go ahead and roll it.
How much did you pay for your first house?
28.
What year was this?
About 30 years ago.
How much did you?
$28,000 in 1994. 30 years ago. Remember, we're in 2024, so 30 years ago, 1994. $28,000. I don't care how old the house is right now. Find a house today that's anywhere close to $28,000. Even if the house was built in 1900, you are not getting a house for $28,000 anywhere. $28,000 is not even the land at this point. Like you're barely able to get anything for that. $28,000, you can't even get a car, a Toyota Corolla new for 28 bands, as the cool kids say. So yeah, that's what's going on. And you heard him say it, 28,000 30 years ago. All right. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, I wish I was not just being a 10-year-old in elementary school and I was investing in real estate back then. I could have bought so many nice, cheap homes for $28,000 back in the day. A mobile home, I don't know. That's a good question. It could have been, you could have been in a certain area where houses were cheap. It could have been a mobile home. It could have been a really old home. But yeah, even finding a mobile home nowadays is going to be difficult for $28,000. A mobile home, man, please. Now we got tiny houses. That's the new wave. Back in my day, we called them trailers. And if you had a community of trailers, it was a trailer park. And now they got tiny houses, and you got a tiny home community. What is the difference between a tiny home community and a trailer park? Tell me the difference. Okay, we got more teeth in the homes, I suppose. A tiny home, RV, it's a trailer. Essentially, it's a mobile home. It's a prefab, something like that. That's what it is. But, we got all kind of fancy words for things nowadays. We got all kind of fancy words. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. But nowadays, look, a foreclosure, old house, anything, 100,000, 200,000. Yeah, it's just the days of old are gone. Now, here's something that's going on. See, this is pretty interesting. This is a thing that's happening with real estate where they're doing build to rent. Have you guys heard about that? Yes, more teeth, honest or honeybee. Yeah, more teeth in a tiny home community than a trailer park. All right, and don't nobody get offended because when I first came to Virginia as a little baby, my dad had a trailer and we lived in a trailer park. So yes, I too come from a trailer park. When I was born, my dad had a trailer on some land in West Virginia. And when he got transferred, we moved the trailer from coming around that mountain. We did that. We came from West Virginia, down the mountain, down to the beach, that area, and moved into a trailer park. That was my intro to the world was a trailer park. That's me. But anyway, what's happening right now? Build to rent. What's going on with this whole action here? Check it out.
This is some middle-class American dream killing bullshit, and I guarantee...
Sorry for the cussing. Again, I'm going to say this to any content creator. I wish you guys would not curse. Don't curse in your videos because if you're doing like educational stuff especially, because it makes it hard for people to really share it with certain people. But anyway, I digress.
It's happening near you. This isn't just a massive land grab. They're stealing trillions of dollars of our equity and ruining any chance of us having home affordability so they can turn us into a renter society. These are called built-to-rent communities, and they've been taking off the last few years. See, most of the time a developer buys land and builds houses on it so they can then sell those houses to home buyers. But in a built-to-rent community, they never sell it. All of the houses go for rent. Developers and big banks are getting together and spending tens of billions of dollars to build thousands of these all across the country. Like Joetta, one of my brokers, said, if you want to kill middle-class America, you do it with rental communities. Just look at Fountain Inn, this small town outside of...
So basically what's happening, if you guys are not really catching on to what's happening here, is developers, rather than building the houses to sell them, like in my community, a developer was here and they built houses. We had them custom built to like certain, within certain parameters. You had a book and you could pick certain floor plans and fixtures or whatever. They were built for us to purchase them. You had to buy these houses. But in certain communities, they're building to simply rent them to you rather than giving you the ability to buy them.
Greenville. See, this developer comes in and gets approval to build 100 new homes just outside the city. This is going to be your standard development. You build and sell. But then private equity comes in and buys up the entire development. They move ahead with construction, but instead of building houses to sell, they're building these built-to-rent homes, even though the town never approved for rental houses to be put up. But technically, it's not illegal because they never changed the plans for the houses themselves.
So a developer comes in, the town thinks, okay, regular developer, they're going to come in, build houses and sell them to people, and that'll be what it is. But rather than people being able to buy the houses, they are sold to an investment firm, and the investment firm then will rent them to people. That's what's going on.
And this bait and switch bullshit is happening all over the country. Wall Street-backed private equity firms are coming in and buying or building entire neighborhoods and switching them over to rental properties. So we've already got an inventory shortage of homes to buy, and they're making it even worse because now builders are focused on building more rentals, which means that prices of homes you can actually buy are going to go up and our affordability is going to get even worse. Meanwhile, these private equity firms are raking in trillions of dollars of equity that should be ours. But what do we do about it? How do we keep them from turning us into a renter society and killing them?
That's a plan, ain't it? You're gonna own nothing and love it, eat the bugs, all that good stuff. Yeah, definitely. Homeowner is really good to own a home. It's really good to own a home, but you know, it's pros and cons. Just make sure you don't buy more home than you can afford. If you are at a certain place financially, you got money saved up for a down payment, and you can furnish your home, and you got money set aside. Just save money. Just stack your money up. Have money, and start small. Like, I could have maybe bought more house than what I bought, but I knew I'm thinking about the future. Okay, if there's ever like a down period or I want to go do something else, like I got to be able to have the house be affordable all the time. And I got to think about, okay, if the roof goes or HVAC or something like that, do I have money for that? And at the end of it, I live here for a certain amount of time. It's like a bank, rather than putting the money into a renter, an apartment, and just giving them the money. I could put it into my own house, and then it's like a bank. I lived in an apartment back in Virginia for like almost 19 years. If I had bought a home, which it would have been hard to do at 21 when I moved out, but if I would have had a home, I would have been 10 years in my mortgage, and then I could do something else with it. It probably would have gone up in value. But there's all kind of pros and cons. It's not always as simple as people say that it is. All right, now let's keep on going. I ain't gonna play that one. Here's your man Joe Biden. This is your guy, 81 million. Now, I don't know what's going on here, and I don't think he knows what's going on either. I want to turn the music down because sometimes, although this is like, I guess you would say, U.S. government music, they still try to give you a copyright claim. It's crazy. The government sucks. You know, the government sucks so bad that they will copyright claim government music, military music. It's like, what is the purpose in doing that? You're going to give me a copyright claim for music that essentially I pay for through taxes. I don't get it, but that's because government sucks. But your man, Joe Biden, looks pretty confused. I'm not sure who that is right there, but he's kind of just enthralled. Here comes Jill, save the day. All right, come on, we got to go. And there's Doug Emhoff. Why is he up there? Why is Kamala Harris's husband up there with, are they, wait a minute. Okay, can I ask y'all a question? Yeah, he probably thought it was Jill, but it was not Jill because they look kind of similar. Got the same age and the blonde hair. That's not me, Joe. That's not me. I'm right here. See? Now, can I say something? Y'all don't get offended. Are Doug and Jill doing something? Are they kind of, you know what I mean? Is something happening between them? Why is he right there? Why? For what? What purpose does Doug Emhoff have being right here in this moment? And why did he appear when Jill appeared? Didn't we already see them kiss before? Oh, ABL was innocent. I can't tell. Listen, I know some body language and things of this nature. I'm seeing something here. I'm seeing something here. I am. I really am. I don't know what kind of freak stuff they into, but something ain't right. But anyway, Doug Emhoff, Kamala Harris's husband, is up there randomly with Jill. And he has no idea where he's going. Doesn't know what's happening. And this is really weird. This is really, really weird. Joe is like a lost puppy, doesn't know what's going on. He's all on his lady's face, thinking it's Jill when it's not Jill. He's like, oh, there you are. I don't know, man. Something's going on. I see it. But y'all let me know. That's right, back up. Kamala's never with her husband. She's never there. Why is he always? I might see Doug Emhoff with Jill Biden more than Kamala Harris. So y'all let me know what's going on. Hold on. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, and now we got to show it. Now we got to show it, okay? Because I don't think this is appropriate. Matter of fact, I'm gonna play this, and y'all let me know if it's appropriate or not, okay? If this is your husband and your wife doing this, like if one of you guys is married to Doug Emhoff and the other person is married to Jill Biden, would this be appropriate for them to do? These are your friends that hang out. Is this appropriate? Hold on. What is all about? Why we got to kiss on the lips? Huh? Listen. If I'm friends with your wife, I'm not going to do that ever. I'm giving you the church hug. Hey, Jill, how's it going? How's the kids? How's Joe? Church hug, handshake, something like that. Kissing on the lips, man, I wish you would. Hey, man, ain't no way. Man, listen. Your wife and your husband? Huh? No. We ain't doing that. We're not doing that. I'm sorry. So when you see that kind of thing going on, and then you see them together for no reason on stage, put two and two together. Put it together. I've never seen that before in my life, ever, with some other man's wife and another woman's husband kissing and then being together at odd times and ain't nothing going on. Anyway, now here's your man Joe again. I believe he's in Ireland. Now, I don't speak Gaelic, but I think maybe Joe Biden does. Right here, check it out. All right, check it out.
I was very happy to see Northern Ireland's Executive Assembly reinstated last month. Now Northern Ireland is a fully functioning government again, and I didn't admit your colleague. I was very happy to see Northern Ireland's Executive Assembly reinstated last month. Now Northern Ireland is a fully functioning government again, and I didn't admit your colleague. I was very happy to see.
What did he say right there? I have no idea. But hey, that's your guy. That's your president. Okay, 81 million. That's your man. Okay, that's what he's gonna go over there in Ireland and say. Just a bunch of random slurring and stammering and things of this nature. Now I want to get to your man. What's his name? Leo Varadkar. Shout out to all the Irish listeners out there. Shout out to all you guys. All right. Shout out to the 4th of Clover, Lucky Charms, the Shamrocks, the Fighting Irish, Notre Dame, all that good stuff. All right. Shout out to y'all. Now I have some questions for you guys. Just a couple questions, and please don't get offended. I don't want anybody to get offended. I don't want anybody to get triggered. Now we know that Ireland's Taoiseach, and I know I butchered that, and I'm sorry. I'm not up on my Gaelic like Joe Biden is. I don't speak Gaelic very well, or whatever language that term comes from, but the Prime Minister of Ireland, Leo Varadkar, he has resigned abruptly. Just, okay, I'm going to quit. What's going on with you guys in UK, Ireland, them neck of the woods, just quitting? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just resign. Like a football coach or something like that. Yeah, I'm going to just go ahead and quit in the middle of the season. I'm going to transfer from Auburn to the NFL. Like, what is it all about? You just quit like that randomly? These jobs are pretty serious. Just go ahead and resign in halfway through your term or within the first 6 months. That's kind of crazy. But anyway. Now, Leo Varadkar, no questions. I got questions. I have questions, two-time entendre. But look, this guy is openly LGBT. And if you don't know, he is of Indian descent, red dot, overseas, Indian subcontinent. I think it might be his father or something that's Indian and his mother is white or Irish. I don't know. But he has Indian heritage. Maybe he might be like, what's your friend Nikki Haley with 2 Indian parents, but doesn't really look Indian, looks kind of white. But anyway, that's him. He's openly LGBT, okay? Openly LGBT, and he's wearing the LGBT cape. Oh, you know, these guys in politics love wearing capes. I saw my man Bill Pascarell wearing the Ukraine cape during the State of the Union address. And here we have the Irish Prime Minister wearing the LGBTQ elemental P cape. All right, that's him. Now, if you're gay, that's whatever. That's your business. No, nothing, no hate here. But I got a question. Is that also him in the regular clothes? I'm not saying in the masks. I mean, is that also him right there? Now, Leo, my man, is that you? The internet says it's him, but I can't confirm it. Now, this is him 100% in the LGBT cape, and he is gay, openly so. But is that you right there, my man? What's going on with you, man? This is your prime minister? Who are these guys you with? What's up with these masks? What is going on? I don't understand. I don't get it. I don't think the prime minister should be in this kind of situation, but maybe it's not him. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, maybe it's just a mistake, it's a hoax or something like that. Y'all let me know though. Y'all give me the 411. If you guys are in Ireland, you're in UK, France, somewhere close by, you let me know the scoop on Mr. Varadkar. Alrighty. Okay, y'all give me the whole thing. But yeah, there's been quite a bit about him. I was reading the comments on my video. People were saying that he's committing crimes and doing all kind of things, and he should have been gone a long time ago. And there's a lot of woke stuff happening in Ireland. I was watching the news about it today, and they were talking about there was a referendum or a debate about assisted dying. Assisted dying? Like, we're talking about Dr. Kevorkian. Dr. Kevorkian came before his time, didn't he? Dr. Kevorkian would be a regular person nowadays. You can see how far we've just transitioned into some evil stuff. Dr. Kevorkian, didn't he get deleted? Didn't he get the death penalty? Hold on. Let me just make sure I'm saying the right thing. I don't want to say the wrong thing. Dr. Kevorkian, let me see. He died in the hospital. I don't think he got deleted. But yeah, he was like the worst person in the world for a long time. But now it'd be okay. He'd be considered a pioneer nowadays. So anyway, Ireland is getting really woke. It's getting really, really, really woke. And this is his exit speech. Check it out.
When I became party leader and Taoiseach back in June 2017, I knew that one part of leadership is knowing when the time has come to pass on the baton to somebody else, and then having the courage to do it. That time is now. So I am resigning as President and Leader of Fine Gael effective today, and will resign as Taoiseach as soon as my successor is able to take up that office. I've asked our Party General Secretary and Executive Council.
So that's him. That's your man quitting as the Taoiseach or the Prime Minister of Ireland. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully you guys over there in that particular part of Europe can get things back on the right track, can get away from the wokeness. Wokeness is a virus. It's a mind virus. And hopefully you guys are not being affected by it in Ireland. Y'all please stay strong. Yeah, shout out to the 4-leaf clover. Shout out to the Lucky Charms, Rainbow, all that good stuff. Notre Dame, Fighting Irish, Conor McGregor, everybody. All the Scots Irish, everything. The potatoes, shout out to baked potatoes, loaded potatoes, all that. Shout out to y'all over there. Hopefully you guys are able to go forward in a positive way. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, check this out. This is from an ex-CIA agent talking about Ukraine and Russia. Remember I played the Pope talking about Russia and Ukraine and saying, hey, at this point, Ukraine should just wave the white flag. They're not going to win. All they're going to do is have a stalemate at best. A stalemate at best. And in this stalemate, they're going to lose a lot of lives unnecessarily. What's the point of continuing this war when it's unwinnable? The only reason the war is continuing is for special interests, for NATO, for the U.S. You know, that's really it. It's not for Ukraine and it's not for Russia. The people fighting the war aren't really going to benefit. Russia can only benefit if Ukraine stops. And Ukraine can't benefit at all. If they keep on fighting, all they're going to do is keep dying. Well, I take that back. Some in Ukraine can benefit. Like, I don't know, they guy that stole $1 billion and just left. Didn't that guy steal $1 billion from Ukraine? Hold on. He just stole $1 billion and bounced. All right, hold on. This is an article from Forbes. Okay, there's 40 million, a billion. Check it out. Here's an article from Forbes. No, do not send notifications, Forbes. Let's go ahead and block. Look, over $1 billion in Ukraine military aid was poorly tracked, creating concerns over risk of theft. $1 billion. You know, that's one thing we're going to do in this country, in the good old US of A, the country I love, the country I'm born, bred, raised in. One thing we're going to do very well is burn money. We will set money on fire. We will set it on fire for no reason. We'll print the money and burn it. $1 billion. Oh, I don't know where it went. And then the sweatpants guy comes back and says, hey, can we get 20 more billion of that? Where's the other 1 billion? I don't know, man. Maybe my Secretary of Defense bought a Range Rover. Maybe he bought a Cybertruck. I don't know. Okay, don't worry about that. Don't worry about where the money went. Okay, I bought 100 more sweatpants. I don't wear the same sweatpants twice. That's me because I'm Vladimir Zelensky and that's how I rock. I'm not going to wear the same sweatpants twice when I come to you. I'm not going to wear a suit ever, but I'm going to have the freshest sweatsuits you ever seen in your life. But anyway, here is a ex-CIA agent talking about this war and what's really going on. All right, check it out.
Putin cannot lose. He will not let himself lose. Russia knows, they know they have to have Ukraine. They know that they have to have it to protect themselves against military pressure from the West. They have to have it for agricultural reasons. Ukraine is the agricultural bed to support a future Russia. They have major oil and natural gas pipelines that flow through eastern Ukraine. They cannot let Ukraine fall outside of their sphere of influence. They cannot. The United States doesn't really have any economic vested interest in Ukraine. The West siding with Ukraine is exclusively ideological, and it's putting them in a place where they fight a war with Russia so the whole world can see Russia's capabilities. As sad as it is to say, man, Ukraine is a pawn on a table for superpowers to calculate each other's capacities.
Facts. Big facts. Not only to calculate capacity, but to drain the resources and to diminish the capacity. So if Russia is expending military forces on this, if they're expending weaponry on this, they're spending a lot of money and they're being kind of choked out because they're not able to. Nord Stream 2 got hit by somebody somewhere, somehow. I don't know. Although they said something went down to the bottom of the Baltic Sea and a U.S. destroyer was spotted in the vicinity right when it happened. But I'm not saying we did it. I'm just saying that's what they say was taking place. Russia is being drained of its resources and of their firepower and everything else. And at the same time, we can see what they can do. All right. And we just hope, I suppose, when I say we, I mean the military industrial complex, they hope that Russia plays all their hand and we get to see everything they do.
Right now, we've only talked about Russia and the United States. We haven't even talked about Iran. We haven't even talked about China, right? It is a pawn on a table. This is a chicken fight so that people get to watch and see what the other trainers are doing.
Big facts. All facts. Nothing but facts right there. Nothing but facts. So yeah, this whole war, the so-called war, I don't support. I don't support it at all. I'm all about peace. All about peace. A war of attrition, exactly right. Absolutely. So yeah, shout out to him. That was an ex-CIA agent talking about what's really going on out here in the world. All right. Now let's keep on rocking and rolling here. We have a whole lot going on. All right. Let's talk about the migrants, shall we? This is about New York City kicking out migrants. And then we can talk about Chicago and hold on. Actually, before we do that, LA, back to the ghetto called LA. I hate LA. LA sucks. It's ghetto. It is. unless you're up in the Hollywood Hills, Calabasas, something far away, Laguna Beach. Unless you're out there, you go to Los Angeles, it's ghetto. But here's the LAPD talking about a special task force to create. It was created to combat organized foreign gangs burglarizing homes. The gangs come from Peru, Colombia, Ecuador, and Chile, among other places. I wonder how these organized criminal gangs are getting into the country. I wonder how. Anybody want to guess how they're coming in? Anybody? Anyway, let's check it out.
We have a significant increase in burglaries from organized groups that are outside this country, that are coming into the country, and they are targeting high-end residents. And we are addressing that specifically in a task force fashion through multi-agencies.
Lots of these break-ins have been recorded by security cameras in recent years. Detectives tell me many tourist burglars who've been arrested often entered the U.S. through a visa waiver program. Many were visiting from Chile and other South American countries. The LAPD says there have been more than 900 residential burglaries across the city since January. Some of those committed by the tourist burglars, who often target luxury.
Tourist burglars. You know it's bad when people come to your city, your state to steal. It's an environment it's cool. You could just go in there and take whatever you want. It's fine. No problem.
Homes in the foothills, and some of them may be using new technology to interfere with home security. Just last week, the LAPD's Wilshire station sent out this alert that Wi-Fi jammers had been used to block camera and alarm signals during some recent break-ins.
Some sort of device by burglars that actually deaden, kill, or stop Wi-Fi from operating.
The immediate fix for these home alarm systems is to hardwire them, where you plug those systems.
So check it out. If they got a device that can kill your Wi-Fi, then there's no Ring camera, none of that. It can't really operate. All right, the things you have that are dependent upon, like smart devices, it kills all that. So they could just enter, and there's no problem.
Directly into your Ethernet in the wall and not use your Wi-Fi internally.
Choi says he's not sure if the tourist burglars have been using these devices, but the I-team has learned jammers and drones have been found by officers in Beverly Hills and other nearby cities. Last year, burglars were caught staking out homes in Orange County while wearing a camouflage suit like this.
A ghillie suit is crazy. Yo, a ghillie, man, listen, people, they gonna learn, man. Imagine seeing a bunch of these guys, these 4'11" Guatemalans with ghillie suits on, in your backyard with guns, masks, all of that. Imagine seeing that.
Similar to ghillie suits worn by military snipers. And it's not just a California story. Police in Scottsdale, Arizona announced today the arrests of a trio of suspected residential.
Not Scottsdale, not the California haven, the California escape enclave. Scottsdale is really nice. And, when I was in Scottsdale a while back, years ago, I felt really safe. You get people outside walking their dogs at night, white folks outside walking their dogs at night. It's like, wow, this is like, I've never seen this before in my life. I've never seen people just outside on a main road walking their dog at night. That's like completely new to me. I've never in my life seen that. By themselves, just chilling like it's all good.
Burglars, all in the U.S. on the visa waiver program and suspected of being part of a wide-ranging criminal.
Yeah, there go Phoenix right there. They go to Mountain.
Organization.
These are Chilean burglary crews that are coming to the United States on the visa waiver program.
Yeah, that's what's happening. You get visa waiver programs coming from Chile. Oh, ABL, it is one to pick fruit and make beds. They do the jobs that you don't want to do. They do the unpleasant jobs. What you mean unpleasant? Like burglarizing people, robbing people, putting the gun in people's faces? Is that what we're talking about when we say unpleasant jobs? Is that what we're referring to? If you want to say that, then yeah, sure. That's definitely an unpleasant job. Okay, to rob people, to take their possessions. Now, speaking about unpleasant jobs, can we skip to the whole thing that's happening with Tyson? Now, with Tyson, they say that they're doing unpleasant jobs. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Yeah. unpleasant
Bloomberg
jobs.
Simone Fox.
Let's play this right quick. Now, they say that Americans don't want to do these jobs, but that's just the problem with the whole migrant thing and the migrant people that, you know, work in chicken plants and whatnot. They say that Americans don't want to do it. The chicken plants stink, and the chicken plants do stink. Yes, they do. But you got to understand, America at one point did not have all these migrants. Like after slavery, it wasn't. Listen, we all farmed. Everybody worked. We worked really hard. We did these things. These jobs, food processing, things of this nature, they're just very, very low pay. That is the issue. Very, very, very low pay. Like I was saying before, it's plenty of guys in this country that work construction, but do you want to be outside all day and all night framing the house for $10 an hour? Is that what you want to do? Why would you do that when you can go work at Chick-fil-A and get paid more than that? It's an easier job, less stress, less dangerous. Why would you? It's to pay. That's the problem. But these migrants are in a situation where they don't have no choice. I'm in this country. I might probably don't speak no English. I have no other skills. Okay, I'll work this bad job for low pay because I have nowhere to turn. They're being taken advantage of. That's the whole thing. Now I don't have any sympathy for them. Don't get it confused. I have no sympathy. But what I do understand is that they are in a situation where they're vulnerable. They have no choice. What are you going to do for work? But they got welfare and things of this nature, but that's a different story. I digress. So let's just go ahead and watch this.
Meat packer Tyson Foods is capitalizing on this inflow. And Simone, this is one of the stories that really got my attention this morning on the Bloomberg terminal. We know that critics of the White House talk about New York City migrants as illegal, but your story actually points out that they have work authorization. Walk us through what that means.
So these are asylum seekers or people applying for a very similar temporary protected status. So they apply for asylum and then they wait. But that application for asylum starts a ticking clock. And so most of them will have work authorization within 6 months. That said, they may wait for years for their very first immigration court date. And it's a good thing, frankly, for them to be able to work. It doesn't mean that they're on social services provided by New York City or elsewhere. It means that they have papers, they can go get a job, be documented workers. And this, it turns out, is actually a pretty attractive source of potential workers for places like Tyson.
So why does Tyson have these, what seems to be immense hiring demands?
So it has a turnover rate of 40%, meaning 4 in 10 of its workers every year on its what it calls its frontline workers, the folks who are, washing the chicken, looking for bones, packing it up into.
Let's pause right here. Now they want to cite the high turnover rate and say that these are unpleasant jobs that Americans don't want. I mean, tell me the turnover rate of a Chick-fil-A. Tell me the typical food service job and their turnover rate. These jobs are not meant to be careers. Any kind of job like that, any kind of food service, look, working a restaurant, some kind of like laborer, it's not meant to be a 25-year job. It's meant to be a job for a while. It will have a high turnover rate naturally. That's just what it is. So tell me the turnover rate of other jobs that Americans have more than this. A lot of these jobs, your food processing, pork, chicken, things of this nature, and out in the field picking lettuce, a lot of them are dominated by migrants. But tell me the turnover rate of jobs that Americans are more into than the migrants. Let's talk about that part.
The trays, very few of them are going to stick around in the long.
Boomhauer, hold on. Nah, Polka Dot Suzanne says, I work retail, high turnover. Exactly. Okay, I'm not seeing a bunch of migrants and no English in retail. I'm seeing regular, everyday Americans.
Term. So it needs to hire something like 52,000 people this year. It already employs about 42,000 immigrants and refugees, but it sees this part of the workforce as a particularly good one for immigrants. They like to stay. They've often come from very difficult situations, and so the company is really investing in a lot of services for them, whether it's English language classes, certain childcare services, to try and convince.
So Tyson pays, they pay for lawyers for these people. They pay for childcare, English language classes, maybe, allegedly. I'm going to let her talk, but I have another video that I didn't show you from a refugee family who got fired from the Perry, Iowa plant. Okay, I'm going to show you that one in a minute. Y'all hang tight.
Them, come stay. You may make only $16.50 an hour to start, but this is a good job.
And this is a stable job. I can't get my words out today. So you were at a Tyson fair in New York City not so long ago where Tyson was basically making this pitch. What did you observe when you went there?
Yeah, so this is a fair put on by Tent Partnership for Refugees. This is a foundation. It's backed by the founder of Chobani. And what they did is they went out, they created a database for these new asylum seekers in New York City specifically. They recorded all their documents. And so Tyson reached out to them. They went through their database. They went through the list, said, you meet the work authorization criteria.
So there's a database of these migrants that was created in New York City. And Tyson will pick from the database to get their new workers. All right. That is what's happening out here. All right. Let me see if I can find the actual the migrant family, because this was a pretty important one that I need to show you guys. But if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all of that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. And yeah, they were from, I think they might be from Congo or somewhere. I got to find that right quick. But yeah, this whole thing, I'm not trying to hear this whole thing about, oh, well, Americans don't want to do it. I'm not buying it. I promise I'm not. It's just not really a thing I'm buying. All right, here we go. This is what I wanted. I got it perfect. Let me put it on the screen for you guys right quick. And
all out from the closure to.
Sorry for the loud noise. RP to the headphone users. All right, let's watch this. One thing they're going to say right here stands out very, very clearly. Okay, very clearly. It's going to stand out. And it's going to tell you the nature of these kind of jobs. It's kind of predatory.
All out from the closure of the Tyson pork plant in Perry could leave some without jobs indefinitely. KCCI's Pepper Papura spoke with a family that says they need the government to take action or else they may lose their home.
The Fidel family came to Iowa in 2019 as refugees. Their home in the Democratic Republic of Congo was overrun by a war. But 5 years later, they've lived out the American dream. Finding work at the Tyson pork plant, buying a home in Urbandale. But on Monday, all of that came crashing down.
When
they got the news, everybody was crying. What are we going to do? How are we going to be able to pay our mortgage?
Okay, so we got African migrants working in the Tyson plant in Perry, Iowa, who just got fired, and I don't hear no English. That's number one. Oh, they're paying for English classes. I can't tell. No English.
Living in a state of panic. Ever since finding out on Monday, Misago Fidel would be one of almost 1,300 people losing his job at the Tyson pork plant in Perry come June.
We don't know what happened.
Job fairs in Perry are underway, and Tyson Foods is encouraging people to apply for other open roles at the company. But it's not that easy for Fidel.
Everywhere we go to ask them for green card before they can even apply.
Fidel says, like many other refugees, other open
One more time, did you hear that?
roles at the company. But it's not that easy for Fidel.
Everywhere we go to ask them for green card before they can even apply.
So she's saying everywhere they go, that's probably her parents right there. Everywhere they go, the companies are asking for a green card and they don't have it. Let's keep on going.
Fidel says, like many other refugees, his caseworker got him the job at Tyson. Hiring him was legal since Fidel is a refugee and was new to the country at the time. He's since applied for a green card, but a backlog of applications since COVID is causing a delay.
They've been almost for 5 years here and they still don't have green cards here.
Data from the federal government.
So you've been here 5 years working at Tyson. You were put there by a caseworker. You have no green card. You're stuck. So that's the whole thing. They don't want you to go anywhere else other than Tyson. Because if you get your green card, now that gives you the ability to kind of move around and be flexible. Doesn't it? Oh, we pay for a lawyer, paying for childcare, paying for English language. I can't tell. We're paying just enough to keep you employed, to keep working. And you're not really going to want to go anywhere else. And when we're done with you, bye.
It shows about 4.5 million cases in the backlog as of August. The U.S. says the backlog was reduced last year, but the Fidels are still waiting.
Tyson was to some people, the live wire.
Eric Idahan and the Genesis Youth Foundation are helping dozens of people like the Fidels, but say their fate is ultimately up to the government.
We're very resilient. We try to support each other. But at the same time, there are certain things you need extra help to get done.
That was our Pepper Purpura reporting. Genesis will host a...
So there we go. That's what's happening. So that's Tyson Foods. And it's not just Tyson. It's a lot of corporations do the exact same thing. And ultimately, it's about just keeping the costs down. That's all it's about. People say, oh, well, it's, Americans don't want to do the... Listen, it's not even about that. It's about keeping the cost low. Keeping the cost low as possible to give you the cheapest product possible. And you got different companies that also produce food. They're trying to compete with each other. They're trying to get these contracts with big restaurant chains, Darton restaurants, Olive Garden, Ruth Chris, etc. They're trying to get these big contracts. They're trying to drive the price of the food down and compete with each other. And the best way they can do that is by using a lot of these migrants who work for a lot less than Americans, who have a lot less flexibility, and they'll have a lower turnover rate because they don't really have a choice. Okay, you hiring me. I'm a refugee. I have no green card. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? But as a regular American, okay, I'll take a job for a while, but then, okay, now I'm going to do something else. I'll be more mobile. I'll be more transient. Migrants are less transient if they want to stay in the country. They're going to be right there, especially if there's no green card or anything like that. They can't go nowhere, but you can. Anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. There's a little bit more here I wanted to get into. But yeah, that's the whole game. It's all a game. It is all a game. And I think once they can really just admit that, then we'd be a lot better off. For sure. We would be a lot better off. Now let's talk about these squatters in New York City. The squatters are crazy. New York City, it's a mess. You guys have seen this? Let's check it out.
Be trying to steal my house.
Now, New York City, what's going on? And not just New York City, but all over the place. They got it in it's like this in all over the, like, Georgia, Atlanta, that area. You got to go through a process to get squatters out of your home. You got to evict them like a normal landlord.
Be trying to steal my house. Yes, you are.
How about that? A squatter standoff. A property owner confronts a group of people she says moved into her $1 million home in Queens, and our cameras were rolling as dozens of officers showed up.
Several people were taken away in handcuffs, and one of those arrested may surprise you.
Investigative reporter Dan Krauth joined.
So the homeowner the homeowner inherited a home from her parents in Queens, $1 million home. And she was trying to sell the home. And one day she realizes that the locks had been changed and the door was damaged. Now we got a problem. And then that's when things went from bad to worse.
Joins us now with more on what happened. Tell us, Dan.
Well, this is a very big growing problem. I received dozens of tips from viewers about this in just the past week. I went to do what I thought was going to be a routine interview. Instead, we capture what police and property owners are dealing with on a daily basis.
I have video of you. Who are these people? Figure out the situation. Yeah, but they're in my house, man. Relax. No.
To understand how this day ended.
So, here's what's going on. The lady right here in the coat, this is the homeowner. The guy right here with the bubble vest is the squatter. And then you got the cop right here. At one point, the woman calls the police on the squatter, and then the squatter calls the police on her, and she winds up getting arrested.
We need the police right away.
With multiple 911 calls and arrests. We have to start at the beginning. Adele, the hardest question is, how do you say your name? We met Adele Andaloro outside the home her parents left her in Flushing, Queens. She's in the process of selling it.
No, he locked it.
But she's been locked out. She claims squatters moved in on February 6th and refused to leave. What's it like being here knowing you can't go inside of your own home?
It's enraging. It really is.
In New York, squatters have rights after 30 days.
By the time that someone does their investigation and they do their work and their job, we'll be well over the 30 days, and this man will have stolen my home. And now she's back.
Just after wrapping up our interview, a woman...
So we got people just in there, like a lot of people. The one guy with the vest, he was one person. You got this lady right here. Then there was another guy that was actually arrested. Now, I don't know how the guy who was arrested was taken out, but the guy who had the vest on was not taken out. I don't really get it. And the woman, the homeowner, has the deed, legal deed. She owns the home. It was her parents' home. They gave it to her. And the guy says that he has a right to be a tenant in the home, but he does not. There's no lease or anything like that. He just literally broke into the home and took it over.
Woman showed up. What are you doing in the house? Are you renting this house? Why are you here? She unlocked the front door, saw our cameras, and took off.
It's open. Let's go in the house. It's open.
Adele and her daughter, with the property deed in hand, went inside.
This is my furniture. These are my curtains.
She didn't just find her belongings inside.
There's a man sleeping right there. Get out of my house.
She found two men. How long have you lived here?
I moved in about 2 days ago.
They've called the police on me, and I've called the locksmith. I didn't come in illegally. The door was open.
Police started interviewing neighbors and looking for documents.
Do you have something that shows that you've been here for more than 30 days?
They took the man who told me he had been renting for 2 days out in handcuffs.
Hold on, I'm seeing something right here. Mehdi says this happened to my aunt twice in New York. Once in Queens, once in upstate New York. I left a comment about it on the original video ABL posted on his story. That's crazy. That's totally crazy. I mean, I can't do it. A lot of these places with these laws that make no sense, I just can't live there because I can't see myself being in her shoes where my home is taken over by squatters. Nah, like that, it makes you go through some crazy things. Now, I'm gonna go ahead a little bit here to the point where the police come out and they arrest a woman.
It's a landlord-tenant issue, and by law, it has to be handled through the housing court, not with police.
Look at my man. Look at my man. That's the squatter, pointing at the cop, cussing them out, all this and that.
Police. If you own this house, you would not want her inside.
I don't own the house. I don't own this.
Exactly,
Yes.
she does.
Yes, but then once again, you should know how the law works.
Cussing at them. Hey, no, the effing law works, son. How about it? Crazy, man. That kind of attitude right there make you go crazy. This is your house and the guy's just in there squatting.
I do know how it works.
There's rules to the as you got to go to court and send me to civil court.
He says he signed a lease in October, but wouldn't tell us with who.
I got proof longer than that.
Show us the proof.
But who are you for me to show? I showed it to cops.
Dan with Channel 7 News. If you don't want to show it, you don't want to show it.
Proof. Come here, brother. I like that.
I would like to see it. He didn't show me a lease. This is a bill. A bill for work he says he had done to the house. He didn't show police a lease either.
The police department doesn't have the lease? No. He's got no documentation.
Just bills. So Adele, you're getting arrested right now?
So he had a bill for alleged repairs he made to the home. And he says this bill is my proof of residence.
Being arrested.
For what?
For being in my own home.
Now, what she did was change the locks. And in the process of her changing the locks, the guy came barging back in. Let me see if I can play that part. Let me see if I can show it to you guys.
But police gave her a warning before they left.
I may end up in handcuffs today if this man shows up here and says that I have illegally evicted him. I said to them, let him take me to court the way I've been told to take him to court. But today, I'm not leaving my house.
Less than 10 minutes after police left and the locks were changed.
That's not going on.
So look, there's a guy right there. So I kind of went back a little bit because I skipped this part. She had changed the locks. Had a locksmith come out. That's who the guy was with the tools. She changed the locks. 10 minutes after that, the guy comes barging back into the door. The squatter.
The man who claims to be the one actually leasing the house shows up.
Call the police again.
With the other guy, police took off the property.
Do you see this? This guy just literally broke down my door. Broke through myself and my daughter to get in here. This guy just forced himself into my house.
No, he did not.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
And so did you. You broke through the front door.
Officer.
The man called the police on her.
So why is it that I have to leave and he doesn't have to leave?
So now we get to the point where the police come back. And then after this point, she is being placed in handcuffs.
For being in my own home.
And where's your lease?
She's fighting the house. It's not her house anymore.
My deed is current and legal.
Arrested for unlawful eviction. She changed the locks on a man who claims he lives there. So how does this all end then? When do you leave?
The way it ends is either she pays me my money that I put into the house, pay me the money, and I'll leave, or send me to court, and we deal with the judge in court. It's that simple.
I mean, it's crazy. It's totally crazy, but that's New York City. That's what's happening. It's a whole big mess. And I saw one of you guys' comments. You were asking me about the dismemberment case. So I'll show you guys an article. I'm not going to show anything crazy. It's just about New York City and their bail laws. So check it out. New York City. A woman accused of hiding hacked up body parts around Long Island arrested again after she was set free without bail. Now, her new arrest was stealing from a CVS. I might do a video about this, actually. She stole from a CVS. That was her most recent offense. But the first thing was she was hiding hacked up body parts. Let me see if I can just read it. A woman accused, listen, hear this. What's the accusation? Okay, the ads are killing me. But the accusation, she was accused of scattering the dismembered remains of 2 bodies across Long Island, and she's back in jail for theft just days after she walked out free without bail despite the grisly charges. Okay, so remember, you get accused of, I don't know how you get accused of that. Like, how is that accusation made? Okay, you just minding your business, going to the store, going to work, going home, and they say, hey, you have been hiding hacked up body parts of 2 bodies all around Long Island. I think there might be a little something there that says you probably did something bad. Maybe to get accused of something like that, very specific, you might have done something bad, and maybe you shouldn't get bail. Just maybe, but yeah, no bail. It reminds me of the guy that was on Joe Rogan. Did you guys see that? That was crazy. This guy was totally crazy. Hold on. I'm gonna show him. I'll talk about him right quick. Let me see. I'm gonna show him. I'll talk about him right quick. Matter of fact, hold on. Let's just show this.
Now to a shot.
This was crazy. So there was a guy who was freed by the Innocence Project. He was in prison for like 20-something years. And I forget what the original charge was. Robbery, something like that. Beating somebody up, pistol whipping somebody, something like that. And he was freed by the Innocence Project. Now, about a month after going on Joe Rogan to tell his story about what happened to him, which, by the way, if you saw the episode, it was a lot of blaming, a lot of finger pointing. He come from a really bad family. His dad was a child sex offender and also a criminal and deaf for some reason. And his dad was having his son translate drug deals into sign language. I'm not making it up. And then the guy that just got arrested, who was on Joe Rogan's podcast, his son killed an Asian guy who was beloved and like a genius in college because the son was trying to rob him. The son tried to rob the Chinese guy, and the guy got beat up by his son and the friends. And as a result of probably being concussed and not knowing what's going on, he stumbles into traffic, gets hit by a car, and dies. So the guy on Joe Rogan podcast, a murderer, his son, a murderer, and his dad was a chomo. I mean, just the worst people in the world. I don't know about a thing called demon seed or like some kind of genetic problem, but these people are just really bad. Just, you got father, son, grandson, all worst of the worst. The most disgusting people on planet Earth. But let's check this out.
Shocking twist in a murder that stunned a neighborhood in the Bronx.
A man found dismembered inside an apartment. Now today, police arrested a man named Sheldon Johnson. He is a criminal justice activist, and he boasted.
That's the guy right there. He was on Joe Rogan talking about his story, and then he got arrested 1 month later after being on Joe Rogan.
Boasted about turning his life around after getting out of prison as recently as going on shows like the Joe Rogan podcast. Now tonight, he is back in handcuffs, and he's facing murder charges. News 4's Ida Siegel is in Highbridge, where the crime scene investigators are still looking for evidence.
So basically, without getting too deep into the story, what happened was people spotted him going in and out of an apartment with cleaning supplies, things of this nature. He was hiding at least one body that was chopped up in like a refrigerator. It was crazy. I mean, this guy, and throughout the entire interview on Joe Rogan, it was always finger pointing. Well, the guy stole money from me and he was doing something wrong to me, so I robbed him because he did wrong. And then my son, well, he got into a fight. Although the fight was not a fight, it was his son and his friends robbing this guy, and then as a result of beating him up after they robbed him, he got hit by cars in traffic. That's what happened. No accountability, always trying to downplay. Typical criminal that is not really repentant, that has no remorse. I mean, this guy should not have been let out. He was in prison for 20-something years. That's exactly where he needed to be. Sometimes you got guys that get sent to the joint for a small thing, like the whole Joe Biden crack law. Okay, you had a crack rock in your pocket, no prior record, something like that. You're not a criminal or murderer, and you're getting 45 years, something crazy. This guy was a known repeat violent offender who came from a long line, or at least a short line, of bad people, and had been a bad person since childhood. Yes, the Innocence Project, that's who did it. And then it was crazy because they were trying to blame Joe Rogan, but really, how about the Innocence Project? How about the guy that actually did it? How about putting the blame where it belongs? But anyway, I digress. If you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Now, your man, let's go to your man, our man, Donald Trump. Hold on. Matter of fact, before I get to Trump, I know I'm kind of running over time. I got to show this. So this woman is talking about the migrant crisis in Chicago. This is the TOTB podcast, Thinking Outside the Box. Chicago guys in Chicago with a live studio audience doing the podcast. And one of the issues raised was the migrant crisis. And the lady right here is going to tell the cast of the podcast who she blames for the migrant crisis. Check it out.
With the migrant situation, that is on Congress. They don't release money, so then that doesn't protect the border. So that's the first thing. We are a sanctuary city. We started being a sanctuary city back in 1980, which of course should have been changed a long time ago. So they bringing them in. You wonder where the money coming from? They taking it, the COVID fund that was here, that money. You talking about all the pro housing programs. So when people pay rent, all the rental programs, that money, all the programs that we have in the city of Chicago, they are bankrupting us. They are taking from all of these programs that we have, and they're taking the money and they're funding the migrants. Our taxpayers, we've already paid $32 million out of our taxes to house and take care of the migrants thus far. Now, we already know the only ones who qualify to become citizens in asylum here from the starts of if they were here after August, they don't even qualify. But here we're going to be taking care of them for 5 to 7 years while there's paperwork floating on people's desk. And why? Send them home. Send them back. But Venezuela already said, oh, we're not taking them back.
I got a question for you. Who did you vote for?
First of all, I have no problem with saying that I did vote for Biden because I was not voting. I did.
Okay,
but here it is.
Hold on.
Wait,
that was the question.
Okay.
Have you answered it, right?
Okay.
This migrant influx that we're dealing with right now, this is your fault.
Okay, well, let me say, hold on. First of all, let me say this. It is not my fault. It is Congress' fault who does not release the money.
Oh boy, so much wrong with what she was saying, so much wrong. And I wanted to let it play so you can hear all of what she was saying that's wrong. And these guys, I was reading some of the comments, and a lot of you were saying, why didn't they say what you said? Most people don't really understand politics like that. Normies out there, they don't really know what I know. Most people just don't have the kind of time to nerd out on politics and read all day and night like I do. So they don't really understand what's going on. They know that there's a problem that happened after Biden got in office, but they don't really understand what's going on. Biden wrote certain executive orders to keep the border open. There were certain policies under Biden that were done to keep the border open. One big thing was stopping the construction of the wall. There's all kind of materials down there that were being constructed. There were holes being patched. There was all kind of things that were being done. Remain in Mexico. There was all kind of things that were happening under the Trump administration that Biden stopped. And that is what has brought the migrants in. And the migrants know it. a lot of the Haitians that came in, remember the whole whipping kerfuffle? A lot of the Haitians that came in said they had been in Chile since 2014 after the earthquake. Well, after the earthquake, they went to Chile and they had been there for years. And then they were waiting for the right time to cross. Here comes Biden. It's going to be open. No more Trump. Orange man bad. He racist. Okay, come on. Let's go now. Trump wasn't having it. Biden is letting the door wide open. That's the difference. The money is totally irrelevant because we've spent and estimated, according to the House GOP estimate, $450 billion since summertime 2022 on these migrants. $450 billion. So the money is there. We could print money all day long. It causes inflation and all kinds of problems. But we could print the money. Money ain't even the problem. The problem is policies that intentionally have the border wide open. That is the issue. So I don't know who told her that about the whole Congress releasing money. Her mind is money, 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 money. She has no idea just how much money is being spent on these migrants. And she has no idea the purposeful nature of the border being wide open. It's not because of a lack of money. It's not because of Congress. It's because of the administration we have in there right now. That's why the border's wide open. That is why. So, yeah. And my man said it's your fault. He may not understand all the ins and outs and ends of why it's her fault, but he was correct when he said it. Now, my job is to give you a little bit more detail and a little bit more information. All righty. Now, let's check this out. Bloodbath. Remember the whole Bloodbath comment? I'm going to play this right quick, then I'm going to get to the calls and super chats and things of this nature. And if you like what you're hearing so far, please give the video a thumbs up, like the video, share the video, do all that good stuff. That'll help me out tremendously. Okay. Now, this whole thing about Bloodbath was so ridiculous. It's like, really? Okay. I'm going to play what Trump said, and then I'm going to play, I'm going to play what Trump said, and then I'm going to play a little bit of what Joe from Joe and Mika. Is that the show, Morning Joe? You might as well call it Joe and Mika. I don't care. I'm going to play that. Then I'm going to play Joe using the same term over and over. Check it out.
Mexico has taken over a period of 30 years, 34% of the automobile manufacturing business in our country. Think of it. Went to Mexico. China now is building a couple of massive plants where they're going to build the cars in Mexico and they think that they're going to sell those cars into the United States with no tax at the border. Let me tell you something to China. If you're listening, President Xi, and you and I are friends, but he understands the way I deal, those big monster car manufacturing plants that you're building in Mexico right now, and you think you're going to get that, you're going to not hire Americans, and you're going to sell the cars to us. Now, we're going to put a 100% tariff on every single car that comes across the line, and you're not going to be able to sell those cars. If I get elected, now, if I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath for the whole, that's going to be the least of it. It's going to be a bloodbath for the country. That'll be the least of it.
So the media literally they heard all of that and narrowed it down to the word bloodbath, and they want to focus on that, talking about, oh, he's threatening violence against the country. It's going to be January 6th all over again. That's like, come on, man. This is a commonly used term to talk about certain things like economic downturn, economic fallout, when you do a certain thing and it causes a problem. It's not about trying to threaten anybody. This is a term that's used. It's in the dictionary, and that term that I'm speaking about is next to the actual word. Just because the word could be something else does not mean it is that. In the context, it's obvious what he was talking about, but unless you have the Trump derangement syndrome going on, unless you have that, then it'll mean something else. Now, here is Joe and Mika. Morning Joe, don't really matter what the show's called. Let's see what they got to say about it. And be warned, if you got virgin ears out there, there is a teeny bit of cussing from Joe for some reason, because, you know, what I've noticed is that TV anchors love to curse when they want to just appear to be a little bit more tough. I'm a cuss on TV. That'll show them that I really mean business.
He's talking about a bloodbath for America. It's laid out in the terms of it. And these idiots on Twitter, these idiots on cable news. These idiots on Sunday shows going, well, presidents, he was talking only about the auto industry, and this is one more. It's just bullshit. Let me say that at 6:15 a.m. It's just bullshit. He knew what he was doing. We're not stupid. Americans aren't stupid. He was talking about a bloodbath. Sometimes a bloodbath means a bloodbath. And when he finishes by saying, and that's just going to be the least of it, seriously, these people may be stupid. We're not. He's talking.
So that's your man, Joe, on MS-13 DNC, saying that Trump really meant something violent by using the term bloodbath. Now, here is Joe using the term bloodbath before this. Now, I guess it's cool when he does it, but it's not cool when Trump does it, okay? Let's check it. Here we go.
He was talking about a bloodbath. Sometimes a bloodbath means a bloodbath.
On the eve of this bloodbath, it was going to be a bloodbath. It's going to be a bloodbath. Would be an absolute bloodbath.
Bloodbath. This bloodbath in South Carolina.
This could be a bloodbath. There will be a bloodbath at the convention.
An absolute bloodbath.
This was going to be a bloodbath.
Does this nominee get through without a bloodbath?
Hashtag bloodbath.
We're going to be having
hashtag bloodbath is crazy from Mika. Mika, you said hashtag bloodbath. What was that in reference to?
Bloodbath. This would be a bloodbath. It would be a bloodbath.
Seriously, he was talking.
So, I mean, it's just so dumb. Like, this is why the media sucks so much. They suck so much, and it's like they think that we're dumb. They think that the average person is dumb. They think that we don't know what they say. They think we don't understand the English language. They just think that we're idiots. They can tell us anything. That's the general gist of it from what I get, because it's like, how are you going to say that he meant something bad by that when you guys always say it? You said it just the other day. You said it just last week. We're going to find things. We're going to discover things, and we know things. We remember things. We have memories. We can go back a little bit in our minds. Like, wait a minute. I remember Joe and Mika said that term during this time and that time. And they all say it. It's a commonly used term. It's not meant to invoke violence. But it's whatever. You know, it's funny. Like I said, it's cool when they do it, problem when I do it. So shout out to MS-13 DNC doing what they always do, lying for the big guy, 10 for the big guy, as always. Now, before we get into the calls, and the number to call, 434-658-1220. There it is right there, 434-658-1220. Before we get to it, we got super chats on deck. Then I'm going to get to the calls. That kind of Michael Critchlow, who says, I think Hertz CEO Stephen Scher deserves Clown of the Year for betting it all on EVs and then having to resign. Yeah, these EVs, man, it's like, I just don't want, nobody wants these. Nobody wants these. Hold on. Matter of fact, they got the new Honda Preludes coming out, and they look pretty nice. Now, if I was in the market for a vehicle, I would look at it. At least I might even take it for a test drive. But I don't know about the hybrid part. I mean, I remember the original Preludes from back in the day. A friend of mine had one, and they were nice. I remember like them having like the real big and like, cause me being tall, I like being able to get into a coupe that I can fit in. So it's right up my alley. It was right up my alley back in the day. And it's like the same. It's like a similar concept here. Yeah, I like that. It looks very nice. That's a concept there. Looks very nice. But if it's electric, I'm good. If I was in the market for a vehicle and they said the new Prelude was electric, I'll go ahead and pass. But the OG Preludes from the 90s, I love those. Loved them. But electric, no. Maybe even, I might even say no to a hybrid. I don't even know about if it got that big battery in there, or even a small battery beyond the regular old school battery, I think I'm good. I might have to pass. But I mean, it is kind of enticing. But the EVs, it's a hard no for me. If it's straight EV, I'm like, nah. Okay, they're talking about like the Mustang. I have a Mustang, then they got the Mach-E. It's like, Mach-E, what is that? That ain't nothing but like a little hatchback type soccer mom type of, you know what I mean? That's not a Mustang. But anyway, I digress. Thank you to Dude Raw for becoming an ABL supporter or remaining one. I appreciate you, boss. Thank you to Apu, who says, Apu Bakar All Puff Daddy, who says, favorite ABL search engine, Ask Jeeves, Alta Vista, Lycos. I don't remember anything before Google specifically. Before Google, it was whatever. I think I might have used Lycos, but I can't really remember any specific one. It didn't really matter, to be totally honest. Whatever was in front of me, whatever was available, that's what I used. But when Google came out, it became the go-to. Thank you to Cooler King 74, who says, there is a big update on the squatters. Thank you to Apple, who says, back in the day, did you do chat rooms? Oh, yeah, we did all of that. AOL chat rooms, AIM, Yahoo, we did Yahoo. I never did MSN, but we did Yahoo, we did AIM, AOL, all that. And then AIM was the main thing that we all used. I was using AIM up until my early 20s, I would say. Yeah, like 19, 20, 21, right around that time. And then MySpace came along and killed the game. They get a tester Tips, who says, watch ads, got a Jimmy hat. Come on, man, I can't say that, man. They get the Cooler King 74, who says, I have family in Toronto. It's bad up there. They are sending the cars through Montreal, which has no inspections at their ports. That is a problem. So, yeah, they're sending them on the ports and shipping them straight on out, probably to Africa. Yep, put them on a container, put it on a ship, and bye-bye vehicle. Once it's stolen, it's stolen. They get a Leo Mazzina, who says, today AOC says RICO is not a crime. They get a Ed Ramsey, who says, wow, Tyson got state-backed slave labor. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, hold on. You know what else we had? You know what else we had? MIRC. BBM. Y'all don't know about IRC or BBM. If you had a BlackBerry, you had BlackBerry Messenger. This was like the OG, I guess you would say, what would that be? Just texting. It was texting, but it was different. It was different. Yeah, I mean, BBM was like Instagram. BBM was the first Instagram because you could post pictures on there for like a status. Man, listen, I had my BlackBerry still until like 2018. The BlackBerry was my favorite phone ever, still to this day. Nothing competes with a BlackBerry with the full keyboard, and MySpace was the best social media. The stuff we got now, it'll do, but MySpace and BBM for sure. I had a Palm Pilot. I had all that. I had a Razr. I had a Kyocera. My granddad had a car phone. You guys ever seen a car phone in the center console with it was like a regular house phone. I don't know how you had it hooked up. Granddad had a Chevy Blazer, I think, or something like a Ford Bronco or Blazer or something. It was a work car, and it was like an SUV. It was white, kind of a compact vehicle, but it was an SUV, like a 94 SUV, like groundbreaking. And he had a car phone in the center console with a cord on a receiver, all of that right there. It was crazy. Probably had a ashtray in there right next to the phone. Yeah, if I could get one of those right now, I would love to get it. I would love to get it. Of course, we had LimeWire and then Napster, of course. We had all of that. But I was a little bit different, okay? I was a little bit different. What I had was, cause I used to do like bootleg CDs. So I used to go on news groups and see, I was doing something different. Nothing too crazy. I was just selling CDs, DVDs, things of this nature. But anyway, I don't want to get too deep. And if the feds are listening, I'm lying. This is all just a joke. I didn't have anything. All right, let's keep on rocking and rolling. Let's get to the calls. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. That is the number. All right. I came from wealth? No, I didn't. Granddad might not have money later, but I come from the HOOO, the HOOD. Yes, I do. Like I said, when we came from West Virginia, we came in the trailer park. We lived in the trailer park, coming around the mountain in a single wide trailer straight to the park. That's where we came up. And then I moved to Virginia. I moved to Portsmouth, Virginia, which was really ghetto. I saw one of my neighbors back when I was a kid. He had his head split like this, like a center split with staples in it. I saw somebody I saw everything. I saw people smoking crack in the late 80s, early 90s. I saw everything. I've seen everything in this world. But I don't want to go too far down that road, so I digress. 47 on your line, we're speaking to.
Anthony, hey, it's Greg from Wild and Wacky Atlanta. Where you think it happen anytime. How you doing, sir?
Everything's all right, man. How about yourself?
Well, you hear what's going on in the background. All's not quite on the Eastern Front.
I see.
I'm keeping the communists at bay there. So, how it goes. Anyway, wow. So much going on now. So, Trump has filed for an appeal.
In what case?
The Fannie, yeah, exactly. For the Fannie Willis case.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, the Scott McAfee, the corrupt judge there, who donated $150 to Fannie Willis's election. Yeah, last week he said, either one can go. One has to go. Either you go or Nathan Wade goes, but not both of you. So that's Fulton County Justice for you there.
Right.
No bias there.
Oh, of course.
So they want to continue on, but the trial's probably going to get delayed till after Trump's elected, so he'll just pardon himself. So it's not going to go anywhere. So, hey, man, we had a guy named William James Pye who's scheduled to be executed tonight at 7 o'clock. Do you know anything about it?
No.
He's 59 years old. He he shot his girlfriend on a dirt road somewhere here in Georgia back in 1993, execution style. I can't find any information on him, whether they execute him tonight or not. So he's supposed to die by lethal injection.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought you might know something about it. So
I'm not familiar with it.
Anyway. Yeah, it's crazy. Hey, by the way, I want to commend you on your American accent. You sound very convincing.
Well, I appreciate it. I've had years of practice.
Yeah, you speak better in your natural accent from Nigeria. I think you're straight out of Abuja. No, it's pretty damn funny when you do that, though. We all love it. Anyway, I don't have too much for you tonight. So I say hello. Love your show, and I'm always loyal. And yeah, man, keep it up. Keep up the good work. I do, however, have to say I'm getting pissed off at you sometimes because you put out too many videos that I can watch in one day. The last 3 or 4 months, you're putting out 2-3 videos a day, and I'm like, damn it, Brian, Anthony, I'm getting, I'm going late for work. I have to get on the road,
Right.
And I'm like, just one more video. And I can't keep up with you. So I congratulate you on your prolific work and keep up the hard work, the effort, and fighting the left. I'm still Ultra MAGA, America First, Trump 2024. Have a good night.
Thank you for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks. See you. Bye.
All right. Shout out to the call. Shout out to my man for the call. Most certainly appreciate him. Okay. I found the vehicle, the Chevy Blazer. This was what Granddad had back in the day. Like 94, that era, 93, 94, 95, this era. So this is a Blazer. This was like groundbreaking back then. The SUV like this was like top of the line back then. Okay. This was the car that gave him for working with the school, because at this time he had some kind of government position with state of Virginia transportation with the schools, like dealing with the school buses. So that was the vehicle that he had, and then it was a car phone like that. So that was pretty much how it looked in the center console with the cord, and I make calls on it. Now I don't know what kind of setup it was, some kind of big antenna on the outside of the vehicle. If it hooked up to the radio antenna, I have no idea, but that's kind of how it looked back in the day. Now, obviously, it wasn't as filthy as this one right here, but that's kind of how it looked back in the day. All right. So, yeah, shout out to the car phone. Shout out to the old Chevy Blazer. Yeah, that was definitely a nice design, but I'm sure if you were to be trying to do some kind of rolling in it, if you try to like accelerate in that thing, you'd be all over the road, rolling like enchilada all over the road. It'd be a mess. All right. Yeah, and OJ had the Ford Bronco. Nah, it wasn't no Ford Bronco. I've seen the new Broncos. They're okay. I thought about getting the new Bronco, but I was hearing about some engine problems. I was like, no. I wanted something that wouldn't be that I could, like if we had inclement weather, because I got caught in a flash flood one time with a sedan, with a Camry. I was like, oh, no, we ain't doing this no more. So I wanted something that had the ability to maneuver. Like if I was going to travel somewhere, be on the road for a while, and I knew it might rain or be some kind of snow or something like that, I needed to have a vehicle that could maintain, like that I'll be okay in that kind of weather. Because I almost got flooded out. Like the water was getting kind of high in my vehicle. I ain't like that too much. So yeah, give me a truck. Give me something that's a little bit high off the ground, an SUV, something like that. So I was thinking about the Ford Bronco, the new ones, but I was hearing about engine problems. So I decided to get with the F-150 instead. And I do not regret my decision. All right. 708, you're the line I'm speaking to.
Or be some kind of.
Hey, ABL?
Yes, this is me.
Hi. I'm a teacher from Illinois, and I was just listening to you talk about your phones and everything, and I was just like reflecting about students, how they don't even know how to function without their cell phones anymore and how crazy it is, and they're always having their phones on. And give a shout out to high school teachers and everything. You need to talk about us more on your show, maybe.
Yeah, I should, because my neighbors are actually teachers, and they tell me about what's happening in school. Like, there's a whole lot of things going on. And first of all, the cell phones, I was surprised to hear that kids are actually using their phones, because back in my day, it wasn't even a thing. You couldn't just use your phone. Like, we had phones, but you couldn't use them. So to hear that kids are using their phones is just crazy. And then also, you got other things going on. You got a lot of these kids dealing with ADHD, and you got autism, a lot more than in the past. Plus, you have the migrant kids coming in. They speak no English. There's always some kind of language barrier. So do you have any of those kind of issues with what I mentioned?
Not so much. I mean, like, actually, like, we have some Venezuelan students in our school district, and they actually kind of work very, very hard. But they were actually asylum seekers that were brought over, like, officially, before all the stuff started happening. But yeah, the cell phones, the ADHD is horrible. And I'm glad that you talk about food and all that stuff quite a bit on your show, because our kids eat like crap, and it just like makes like it so much worse. And they're addicted to their phones. They can't function. They can't listen. But Indiana banned phones for schools next year. But I'm not in Indiana. I'm in Illinois. But yeah, it's kind of maybe what more states could do that. That'd be great.
Oh, definitely, because it's got to be a big distraction. You're trying to teach a lesson, and the kids are on their phone. They're on TikTok, which is like the devil, the Antichrist. They're on that all day, and they're totally missing whatever's being taught. So yeah, they definitely need to be a ban on the cell phones.
Oh yeah, and then we can't. And our school doesn't have a cell phone policy, so it's just basically like you have to just like, if they respect you, they'll listen to you. If you tell them to put the phone away, but they're so addicted to it, it's hard like not to do it. Exactly. We were doing testing today, and this girl just busted out her like headphones and listened to music during the testing, and her test got canceled because we had official state testing. So it was sad.
That's crazy. Totally crazy.
Yeah, we just want to give you a shout out and stuff. We're always listening to you and everything, and give a shout out to teachers out there.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Thanks. Keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
Bye.
All right. So shout out to her. Shout out to all the teachers. Shout out to Indiana. Shout out to all you guys. You know, I know you guys dealing with a lot. Like I say, with the phones, that's crazy. I would never have a phone like in class. And we had devices back then, even before. I got my first cell phone at 18. Kids nowadays got phones and they little kids, like 6, 7, 8 years old. Like, I got friends that got kids who are like pretty young, like 3rd, 4th, 5th grade. They already got a cell phone. They'd be talking to them, texting them, all of that kind of stuff. That was unheard of when I was a kid. But we did have devices. I mean, you have Game Boy, stuff like that. Things like, handheld devices and Walkman, but we never did that in class ever. Like, that'd be you immediately going to the office instantly. Who am I speaking to? 617 on the line.
Yes, hi. How are you?
Everything's good. What's going on?
I'm coming to talk about the, your opinion about the Tyson, the food company that shut down in Iowa.
Yes.
That they laid off 1,200 people. Why you keep saying that they're using migrants to replace those people, to replace these people that are being laid off?
That's not what I said.
That's what you said. You said that they rather hire migrants than North Americans.
You said replace. I never said replace. I'm talking about they're hiring migrants to fill jobs that are available from a database.
Well, because Americans don't want to do it.
No. Americans have no problem working hard. The problem is that these companies are trying to pay people very, 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 very low wages and have them in all kind of crazy conditions, things they cannot get away with an American. That's the problem.
That's just not true. Number one, the minimum wage in Iowa is $7.25. That's the federal minimum wage. Second of all, they're paying $16.50 an hour to start. In Iowa, with the union workers, they were getting paid $11 when they started, even Americans working there, and now it's $18.25. So you're saying it's incorrect. That's just not true.
Okay, but just because minimum wage is lower than what they get paid does not mean it's not a low paid job. That's not what that means.
But they're still paying $16.50 an hour. And most states pay according to the cost of living. And
they want to have them in all kind of crazy conditions, and they want to have them
trapped.
How
do you know that they put them in
Excuse me, I'm not finished talking. And also,
how do you know that?
Excuse me, I'm not finished talking. I'm not done. Please be quiet. So on top of the crazy conditions that they want to have them in sometimes, they also want to keep them captive, as a story I showed about migrants who were talking about their experience, migrants that came from Congo who did not speak any English. They were refugees, and they were pretty much held there because they had no green card. They couldn't go anywhere else. A lot of times they're held. So you got a lower turnover rate with the migrants because a lot of times they're trapped into these places. They don't really have any other place to go. They're in a more desperate situation. So they're less likely to leave than Americans because Americans aren't as desperate as a migrant. A lot of times with no green card or anything like that, no actual citizenship status.
What you're saying is completely incorrect. Now, an American can...
What did I say that was wrong?
Some of those jobs. So why Americans don't go and work then?
What did I say that was wrong?
Well, what you're saying is that they're trying to replace them with migrants. That's
not what I said. Excuse me. What did I say that was wrong just now? You said you just said excuse me. You just said that what I just said was wrong. So what did I just say that was wrong?
Number one, you said that they were going to pay them $10 an hour in your video. That's just not true.
That's not what I said.
$50 an hour.
I didn't say that.
You say $10 an hour. Look at the video.
See, look, you got to listen. You don't listen. That's your problem. You do too much talking. Excuse me. See, look, right now is what you're doing. Right now, you're doing too much talking and not listening. If you would shut your mouth and listen, you might be able to learn something. Excuse me. What I said was, I was talking about a different job, not the Tyson job. I'm talking about framing houses, not washing chicken. You weren't listening. That's your problem. You don't listen. You just talk, and no listening. So anyway, you were wrong about that. I talked about framing houses for $10 an hour and not washing chicken at Tyson. So what did I get wrong? Let me know.
Okay, so why these people that are being laid off in this plan? Iowa, the state, has many other plans within 15, 20 miles ratio. Why they don't go and apply for those other jobs?
Excuse me.
I don't know if they did.
My question was, what did I say wrong? You asking me a new question.
No.
The question was, let's just stick to the question. See, you don't listen. That's your problem. You don't listen. Let's listen to what I'm saying to you right now. What did I just say during this phone call? Excuse me. If you don't listen to the question, you can't hear the question. No. What did I say during this phone call that was wrong? Please let me know.
Okay, I'm rectifying what you said in the video. In the video,
No. The question, no. The question is very simple. No. Listen. You just said what I just said right now was wrong. What did I say just now that was wrong? Please answer.
You just said. This is what you just said. You said in the video. I'm calling.
No. You're not listening. See, you don't listen. I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more time to answer the question. Then I'll just hang up, move on to somebody else. You said just now that what I was saying now, as we're talking now on the phone call, you said that what I was just saying now is wrong. I'm asking you. Excuse me. Quiet. I'm asking you. What did I just say that was? Excuse me. No. Be quiet. The question. Listen. Hear the question or hang up. What did I just say now in this phone call, not in the video? What did I say right now that is wrong? Let me know.
Okay, so what you say is wrong, that these people did not offer them other jobs. I
didn't say that.
You did say that.
No, I didn't.
You say they rather hire, they didn't offer Americans and they want to hire migrants. It's just not true.
They do want to hire migrants. They said it like the lady from Bloomberg said that Tyson is going into the database and selecting who they want to hire from the database of migrants. They said it in the news clip.
Because Americans are not filling these jobs.
Excuse me. It wasn't me that said it. She said it. So again, but look. What did I say that was wrong? No.
You know why?
No. Excuse me. You're not answering the question. You're talking about other stuff. What did I say that was wrong?
I'm not talking about other stuff.
What did I say that was wrong? What did I say that was wrong? You've not answered the question.
Putting Americans out.
You've not answered the question. So I'll move on. Have a nice night. All right. Now I was trying to be nice and ask him, hey, we're talking right now on the phone. You said that what I just said was wrong. What I want you to do is tell me what I said that was wrong. We're talking right now, having a conversation. Oh, well, I think this and I said this and you said $10 an hour. Not listening. You can't learn if you don't listen. You know, that's all that it is. That's why people like that never really are able to ascend, because they don't listen. Listen and learn. 504, don't lie. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. It's Alien Spaceship.
All right, man. What's going on?
All right. It's been a while since I've been here, so glad to be back. Very good callers. And I want to start off by saying that, once again, you were very patient with Ivan, and you're correct, in my opinion. And he just doesn't seem to say what you got wrong. He just comes up, in my opinion, with something that he says you said but you didn't say.
Right, exactly. It's like, just answer the question and we'll be just fine.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically, and I, through YouTube, I talk to different farmers and stuff. And yeah, Tyson is very shady, and something chat pointed out. And I also researched that a Chinese company has, in my opinion, multiple Chinese companies have stake in Tyson and other food companies, which is suspicious. And also they try to buy out farmland, which I've mentioned before on this channel, like last year a lot. And also the migrant thing is another thing that's very suspicious and very untrustworthy situation. And, with America's food supply, we want trustworthy people dealing with that, and we don't want that falling in the wrong hands. And I think that it just shows the decline of the country and how it's going senile and downhill.
Yeah, absolutely. And no question about it.
Right. And I think, like, say people could try to do like a straw man argument, like they'll say, you say this, and it's like beating a straw man, but it's not true. So, and gaslighting and stuff. So yeah, but it's going to be that you were very patient with people, and because a lot of people wouldn't put up with that, but it also proves that your point is valid. And also, I think that the squatters, that's a very strange what's happening. And it reminds me of another communist idea about no private property, where, like, say they would want, like, the communists themselves will say, like, they would want someone's, like, a work or a job, like, say, an Amazon factory to be nationalized, but people could keep their own personal property. But in these different countries that had communism, it just seems, in my opinion, they just take everything from everybody, and especially a rental house or something. Yeah, they wouldn't want it to be nationalized, And so this is another communistic type idea that people have, and they're trying to implement. These people that were twisted by it, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. People always want these communist ideas because they think that they can do it better than the previous people that didn't have success with it. Oh, you weren't doing it right. Well, there's not really a right way to do the wrong thing.
Exactly. And like the founder of the Red Army, Leon Trotsky, he was saying that Stalin did it wrong, but he was the one that like helped create it, and he got kicked out of Russia because there was they're all like fighting to have the power of the country, and then this group got kicked out, and then the other ones blame the other person, and everywhere it was tried, it failed. Also, in Ukraine, there was a situation under the communist regime, not under the czarist regime that came before communism. They had these famines that happened with the collectivist farming because the communist system didn't work, and Lenin accused the farmers of hoarding the grain, so they went and deleted people and stuff, but the people didn't seem to understand or want to accept that communism didn't work. There was somebody from America that was like trying to debate Lenin, and he was very set in his ways that communism worked. Also, Karl Marx and these people, all their ideas like look good on paper, but anytime it's implemented, it doesn't work because, there's always like people that are going to take advantage of this thing, and it just, it never happened because they think this utopia is going to happen. But that utopia never happens. It just turns into a totalitarian system that leads to more destruction of a civilization.
Absolutely, 100% correct.
Right. And then we have the decay of the culture of, like, say, the media, like, say, with the TikToks and things, and say people not focusing on their work and things, like in schools. Like, we have a situation where, like, through the media can influence people to do some bad things. And I think in the West, there seems to be, in the young people's culture, there's like teenagers and stuff, there's definitely something that's trying to influence them to be destabilized. As I said, there's these people with these communistic ideas that are trying to go attack us from all kinds of different angles.
Right on.
Yeah. And the way I think that it's good for people to keep spreading the word and keep being aware of their surroundings and the people they're around so they could be educated about the situation. And I think that it's good, as you said, to like vote locally and start small, because in a national, it's so big, the country, I think it's good to start with small little areas.
Yeah, definitely. Like that's the main thing, because it starts from the ground level. Trying to shoot for the stars, that's not really the way to go about it. Focusing on local community, and then, like you said, just grow from there.
Exactly. Another thing about LA, that's horrible that they have these little people from South America that are trying to come over, and they're coming over and they're burglarizing houses and robbing people and stuff. And in LA and California, there's just been horrible issues with drugs all over the streets, people like with waving their crack pipes everywhere. And it's just, that is really going downhill, and all these Democrat-run cities are going downhill. And this is another problem when they don't use the money that they get through these high taxes for the people. It seems they seem to just stuff their pockets up.
Absolutely.
Right. And I'm glad that you're exposing what's going on, and very good platform. And also, that's all I have to say for this call. Thank you for taking my call.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
Okay, bye.
All right. Shout out to Alien Spaceship for the call. Great call. Let's keep on rocking and rolling. The number to call, 434-658-1220. Again, 434-658-1220. 215, hit online. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL, how's it going?
It's all good, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. Hey, I wanted to ask you something, basically. So, like with YouTube, it seems like YouTube is just going more, it's like even with like, say like you got the kids section of YouTube and adult section of YouTube. But one thing I've noticed is like YouTube, they've got more stricter on their policies. Like, it's getting to the point where like, it's like certain videos you just can't find on YouTube anymore because they claim they're too graphic, or it's just, this is too graphic, that's too graphic. You know what's going on with that?
I don't really know what you're talking about. Like, what kind of videos are you referring to?
Like, for example, I understand like videos of like not like people getting killed, like dying, but like there used to be like videos of like shooting, like surveillance videos of shootings that used to go on. It's like now it's getting to the point point where it's like YouTube just they won't. It's like because of YouTube's policy, some things is too graphic for audience. They say because a lot of content creators I watch, they said they can't upload certain videos because they say it's too graphics, even though it's for adults only. That's why I'm starting to think if YouTube gotten more stricter on their policies.
Yeah, because they're trying to be more of a mainstream platform. They don't want to have too much shocking stuff on there. Like back in the day, we used to be able to watch more shocking, like shootings, things like that. You could watch it on certain websites that were for that, but YouTube doesn't want to be that. Am I hearing a chirp in the background?
Chirp? Nah, because there's a dog barking outside and the wind is blowing. But so basically, YouTube trying to be more mainstream. Like when you say mainstream, I'm thinking like MSNBC, not like mainstream media, of course.
No, they're trying to be like a platform where anybody can watch it, basically. Or in some ways, like basically, they don't want to have anything that's going to be a legal liability. So somebody getting deleted, something like that, that might be a lawsuit. So they don't want anything too graphic like that on the platform.
Because they said that could be a legal liability.
Yeah, that could be a problem.
Oh, geez. Yeah. Kind of makes sense because I'm just looking at it like it's a video sharing site. So, and it's like, and the thing is, Instagram has it on there. So it's just like YouTube, they have the adult section. Like, they used to do the thing, viewer disclaimer is advised, or watch it at your own risk. But now it's like they're cutting that out. It's like they should have the rated R section of YouTube. They do have the adult section. They used to ask for your age before you create an account or a channel. They ask for your age. And it's like, it's always been like that, but now it's just changing even more.
Yeah,
well,
it's definitely different for sure.
Yeah, and it's like they get more strict. I feel like with YouTube, they just need to stay out of politics. And I hope I'm not saying too much.
No, you good. You good. It's all good.
Yeah, like all these video sharing sites. So just stay out of politics. Just do what you're designed to do. Just share videos, and that's it. Don't censor certain videos. Let the market decide. Let the market decide.
Well, you got to understand though. One thing about YouTube, it's gotten so much bigger than just a video sharing platform. You got whole businesses and people that have like the whole like making millions of dollars. Is bigger. Like when it first started, it was a matter of, okay, we got cat videos, things of this nature. Now we got the biggest celebrities in the world. They got their shows on here. It's much. Yeah. It's in a different space. So yeah, it's you know they're sponsoring the NBA Finals and Super Bowl and all kind of stuff. So they've gone way beyond just a video sharing platform.
Yeah, that is true. Because I remember I got on YouTube in 2007. I've been on there ever since. I've never gotten off of YouTube. I'm just everything. Like, remember the VCR tapes with all that stuff you plug in your VCR? Mm-hmm. Everything you used to rent them from the library. Once I could find all that, instead of going to the library renting those VCR tapes and putting them in the tape, all that stuff I could find on YouTube. So I was like, well, I'm on YouTube from now on. Right. And one more thing, it's kind of ironic that Joe Biden and Donald Trump are going at it for round 2 because Nikki Haley dropped out of the race. I didn't think she would drop out so early.
I mean, there was no path forward. I mean, truthfully, the reality is, like, this was determined months ago, so it was just a matter of time before she dropped out.
Yeah. And now it's like round 2, and it's like, let's see I'm wondering what they're going to try to pull. I'm waiting to see what happens this time because Joe Biden has lost so much support. It's not surprising, but it's amazing.
Right.
But thanks for taking my call.
Thanks for the call, man. Definitely appreciate you.
Have a good one.
Same to you. All right, shout out to my man for the call. Yeah, man, change battery. I heard that chirp. I sure did. I sure did hear your chirp. 424, get on the line. Who am I speaking to?
Hey, ABL. This is Kelly Silverman calling from Los Angeles.
All righty, what's going on?
Hey, shout out to everybody that's in the chat, the fine patriots holding it down. I just wanted to kind of piggyback on the Tyson situation. And it's, ABL, this can get bigger than just Tyson. you know, there's going to be other manufacturers that if Tyson is successful at this, other manufacturers who have warehouse jobs, shipping and handling, assembly line, dock loading, forklifting jobs that all require, you know, a bare minimum skill, those jobs will be in jeopardy. You know, and so it's bigger than Tyson. And those are the talking points that I touch on when I speak with my family and my friends. And that's getting them to see things in a new light. And so I just, with the future and everything that's going on and things that are coming up, I just see more and more manufacturers doing this. And it's just really shedding light on the way things are going to be going. So it's just going to be an interesting time.
Oh, definitely. And, you know, it's going to be like that for the future going forward. They're going to keep bringing these migrants in. The border is open now, so I don't know how many are going to get in before it gets closed, but this is going to be an ongoing problem.
An ongoing problem. And one last thing, I wanted to ask you this, and I say this to my folks in the chat as well, ABL, with America waking up and just kind of seeing what's going on, certainly the Democrats don't believe that Biden and Kamala is going to take this by themselves. Which tricks do you think they have up their sleeve to try to win this? Because they can't just be counting on Biden alone.
Well, in the states where they have any kind of control, they're going to try to do whatever they can. But it's going to be a problem when they don't have control in the state. So a lot of the states have done election reform ever since 2020, and they put certain safeguards in place where they can't just do whatever they want to do. So I think in California, them kind of places, they're going to do whatever they want. But other spots of the country, Georgia, for example, they can't do anything because it's going to be a state situation, and the feds are not going to be able to intervene.
Okay. Good insight. All right, ABL, thank you. And thank you, as always, for covering what's going on here in the deplorable Los Angeles. Much love to you.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Shout out to the caller. Great call. Shout out to you guys for being here. You guys are the best audience anywhere on these interwebs. 773, you don't know who I'm speaking to.
ABL, it's your retired Chicago police officer friend. How you doing?
I'm doing well. Can't complain.
You know, I think a round of applause is warranted for you, ABL, because once again, you hit it right on the head. Look at Tyson. They laid off workers, so much so that even the migrants that have been here for 5 years are beefing about it. Laid them off, and then not 2 minutes later, they're hiring these new immigrants. I mean, talk about replacing you for your job. I mean, it's right there in your face. It's right there in your face. And, you know, I think you might have mentioned, I don't know if you did, ABL, about Biden actually flying migrants to certain places around the country to, you know, Republican states, because even if they're not ready to vote for the president, they will be in place to vote for Congress for those districts and other things. You put 300,000 votes in some of these places around the country, and you've made a difference. I think that's one of the end games that they're trying. Plus, what they're doing is they're setting you up, meaning the migrants. They're setting these illegals up to be able to stay in this country. Look, if I was their lawyer, my client has been here now for 3 years, a model citizen, started working through this program and has kept his job. He's now has this. He's got a kid that was born here now. I mean, they're trying to set it up to keep the majority of these people here. Why? Because they want power. They know that you know, ideologies are pushed forward if you have the power to do it and to be in place. If you played that video of that woman, ABL from Chicago, complaining about all these illegal aliens and taking up the money, which is absolutely true, if you played it for another 10 seconds, when asked if she was ready to vote for Trump, no, she's gonna throw her vote away and vote independent.
Yeah.
Because she still has that mindset, orange man bad. And as I said before, you need someone with strength. Have you seen what Trump was talking about with the bloodbath? Forget about that word bloodbath and how it was placed in the sentence, because they ran with it like a ridiculous, left out the thing that it was talking about, which was cars. But here's the thing. Trump understands how to put pressure on these other countries and businesses because he was a businessman. We are going to put 100% tariff on whatever comes, you try to bring across. You're not selling it here. We're going to make it that it doesn't make economical sense for you to build what you're building or make what you're making. As I told you before, I've used this example before. Business people know exactly what is going on in their business. They know exactly what's going on in their business. So Nike knows that 12-year-old kids are sewing up their soccer balls in Bangladesh or wherever it might be. They know it's happening, but they get away with it. And as you said before, they take that difference and they put the profit in their pocket. That's what they do. They put it in the pocket of for themselves, for their corporation. It's human nature for them to do that. If I can get a brand new car for $2,000 in today's money, I'd like to do it, but it would either be stolen. It just wouldn't be right because you couldn't do it. And that's what these people are doing. It's the same with the government. When you do your taxes, they find the littlest thing and call you on it, on your taxes, that you missed this or missed that. You have to do your taxes to the penny. Yet they lost $1 billion sending money over to the Ukraine. We're supposed to believe that? How ridiculous. They're just corrupt. They have an agenda, and that's what they want to do. You need someone like Trump or Trump himself to play hardball and know the language of these people. Because if you get anybody else into office, ABL, they're worried about their own political career. They soften their language. They're more diplomatic. They play this game and that game with words, and nothing ever happens. Things take forever. But if you have somebody that says, no, this is what we're doing, who would stop Biden from closing the border now? No one would stop him, yet he makes it out like, well, if Congress passes it, I would close it today. It's ridiculous. Let's get somebody into office who's going to be an adult, is going to be a man, and have some cojones to do something here. Excuse my language, ABL. I couldn't think of any other word. But, someone who has some kind of, is going to take some stance like that. If you tell these people we're not going to do it, and you're going to cost you money to bring your goods here, believe me, that stuff works because they want your money ultimately. That's what they want. So anyway, that's about my $1.25 there, ABL. So I'll talk to you later, and thanks a lot.
Thank you for the call. Definitely appreciate you.
I appreciate it.
All right, great call as always, and that will be a wrap for me. Shout out to you guys for being here. If you couldn't get on tonight, don't blame me, blame the white man, because it ain't my fault. I will see you guys again on Saturday, same bad time, same bad place, 8 p.m. Eastern time to right around right now, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Shout out to you guys for watching, retweeting, super chatting, whatever you do. I could not do the show without you. Shout out to the mods for keeping the trolls in check. I most certainly appreciate y'all. Again, I'll be back on Saturday, same bad time, same bad place. Do I have any other super chats here? I think I have a few more. Let me go check these out right quick. I'll read these. Then I wrap it on up, put the bow clean on top. Thinking about KMITU says, like being asked, any update on the plaque? I have no update on the plaque. I don't think they want to give me a gold plaque. But if I get one, you guys, I promise, listen, as soon as I figure out what's going on, I'll let you guys know. All right. So that's all I got for the gold plaque update. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, when you are a YouTuber, I guess you would say, YouTube creator, they give you plaques when you reach certain milestones of subscribers. If you get 100,000, you get the silver plaque, which I have behind me. You might not be able to see it. I think it's out of the frame. You get a silver plaque. Hold on. Let me see if I could just, you see that back there? So you get the silver plaque. You get the silver plaque at 100,000 subscribers. I've had that for years. You get the gold plaque once you get to 1 million subscribers, which I've been able to reach thanks to you guys. You get the diamond plaque once you get to 10 million subscribers. It's a very rare thing to do, to get 10 million subs on YouTube. Very rare, very hard to do. To get to 1 million is pretty rare too, but 10 million is like, you got to be PewDiePie or somebody like Jake Paul, one of these guys that's like an international superstar. But anyway, so they should give me a plaque for the 1 million. But it's up to them when they want to give it to me. I don't know when they're going to do it or what. So we'll see how that whole thing goes. All righty. And what else I got? Shout out to Kelly K, who says, once the illegals are working, Democrats will push for voting. No taxation without representation. Right on. Exactly. 100% correct. And that's a very good point. All they got to do, get them in the door, get them working. Once they start working, hey, we need them to vote because they can't be taxed on that money without being represented by local legislation, by local politicians. They got to have the representation. They can't be taxed without it. So now that'd be the way into that. They're going to do it little by little, piece by piece. That's their plan here. All right. And shout out to Bina for gifting 5 ABL memberships. I really, really appreciate you for all that you do. And shout out to you guys for being here. I'll be back again on Saturday. But I'm here all throughout the week putting out pre-recorded content. And if you guys have not subscribed to my new channel, Uncle ABL, if you're interested in the more relationship and finance and health stuff, y'all, please subscribe to Uncle ABL. I might even do like cooking and stuff like that, because I do like HelloFresh. I'm starting that to see what it's like. And I like HelloFresh. It's fun, pretty easy. You could cook and prep in about half hour, 45 minutes, get you some pretty good meals. Not really super high cost. If you're a guy like me, you're not really trying to go to the store, get individual ingredients. They send it straight to you. It's not an ad. I just happen to like them. If you want to sponsor the show, HelloFresh, come holla at me. But yeah, I may do stuff like that on the channel. But for now, it's like dating and things of this nature. But the channel is always going to be in the description. And I just spam my chat with it if you guys are interested. But that'll be a wrap for me. So until next time, y'all be safe. I'm out, and peace.